72. Post coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction, presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Sennett Contracting, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you can sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
The crossover continues to evolve. All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Every Little Country Repair in Omaha at everylittlecountry.com. Hi, boys.
Hello.
I'm going to admit, Connor, I'm tired. I went
when'd you guys get back last night?
You probably
11, 15.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you watched the Chiefs game, I assume.
Oh, my goodness.
People forget about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No.
Not so good.
So were you guys cranking the dulcet tones of Mitch Holthus on the way back?
We were. We heard he got very, very sad after Marcus Valdez-Scantling dropped that ball.
Well, you should have seen it.
And then I did see it, and I thought, wow, he wasn't sad enough.
I'm sorry. I got it. This is the bitter Bears fan of me, but watching the offense for Kansas City struggle a little bit last night and seeing Matt Nagy's head buried in the play sheet, I chuckled a bit. Because I've seen that a lot.
Sounds like disrespect.
I've seen a struggling offense and then them going to the sideline and seeing Matt Nagy with his waffle menu and
he's got the giant. Where did they get that giant piece of paper?
Yeah, he loves it. He wallpapers every place he's lived in with them. All of his play sheets.
What a weirdo.
He's Matt Nagy, man.
It's awesome.
He's a good dude, but sometimes he gets overwhelmed. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he might overwhelm himself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's still got Patrick Mahomes.
So I did chuckle a little bit.
But he does not have wide receivers, and he has exceedingly less Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Ever since his trip to Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
like he's
the drop came right after the fumble.
You can go to Argentina as long as you come back.
You got to play
you're
well.
Not a story on the bad side.
Yeah.
But once that happens, and then Andy Reid snarls at you,
yeah,
it's going to be a long week for Mr. Travis.
Also, everybody here has been in a relationship. Did your parents meet? Your parents meet? Your
they didn't show up
parents
last night, so don't start this. They didn't show up last night. They didn't show up last night.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
They did not.
Just stop. You know, so I know what you put up there. They're going to get married. They're both 34. She's looking to settle down. Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Look at Vers.
Vers is wearing pants.
He's got the pocket square.
Breaking news. Matt Verzal is wearing pants.
Look at that pocket square.
Hey, he was so fired up. He looks so uncomfortable wearing like dressed up clothes.
Wow. What a turnaround for him. He's like, goes from last night straight to that this morning. He's built for it though. He's built different.
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, Putney had a nice coat on last night. I was like, "Hey man, does that fit me?" And he's like, "Nah." He goes, "I got broader shoulders."
Nice.
So
whoa! Who's this? Parker Borer. Look at the dark
he's
shield.
got the dark visor.
Holy smokes!
Take Boone Central the points now.
Is that is that DeAndre Swift?
Hey, that is the alma mater of Wyatt Mazur.
It is.
So
he covered Boone Central.
I mean,
Albion,
Wyatt
Nebraska.
Mazur had a great championship game one year. And then
Wyatt Mazur is also a very good baseball player. He had a brother too. Very good athletes.
Hey, so I was thinking
That's
about this.
Albion?
Yeah, Boone Central's an Albion.
Wow.
Probably been to Albion once or twice.
My dad once got a phone call from the Hillbilly in Albion.
The Hillbilly?
Yeah.
Please tell me that's a bar.
He called himself
it's a person.
Random number. He left a message, but my dad didn't answer, and it was like, "Hey, it's the hillbilly in Albion," and he was not having a real good time. He may have been under the influence, and there was just some signs that
drunk hillbilly. You said?
There was just some signs that like things weren't going well for him. So my dad called him back the next morning, called the number back the next morning, and he was like, "No, I'm fine." It's like, okay, very good.
Were they throwing fruit on the field?
I think
still one of the better post-game moments by Bill Callahan at Oklahoma.
No doubt about it.
They're shooting off guns and throwing fruit.
It's a bad house down here.
Man, Rule is going to tick us off because he doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, if they get going,
he's passive aggressive, but not to the point of shooting off guns and the throwing fruit on the field.
No, he'll never be good for one of those. But he'll if they get going, he'll get after somebody. Don't worry. There will be times.
Oh, they got a title in the wheat
field.
field.
Question here, because I saw
question for you.
The Berkshire Hathaway must have done something because they were on the national news earlier this morning. Who is the one billionaire you'd like to hang out with?
Cubes.
Like to have a good time?
Yeah. What's
Mark spend the whole day with him?
Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, no doubt. I don't know if I could keep up with Mark Cuban though.
I'd like to ask Warren Buffett why bought a bunch of Braves stock.
I did see that with 9.6%.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What do you know, Warren?
Gets me excited.
If you hey, you know what? If you worked at the World Herald and you hate the Braves, this is great. Because he's going to destroy the Braves.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe you shouldn't be excited.
Can I convince anybody on Elon?
No,
you cannot.
I would not want to hang out.
No.
Just for a day?
No, I wouldn't.
Hanging out with him for a day would be a choice.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, frankly, there's not many great choices out of the billionaires that I really want to hang out with.
Bezos.
I think Steve Ballmer would be fun. I think he'd also give you a lot of stuff just to be your friend.
Ballmer would, again.
Have you heard about my new arena?
Kind of like Cuban in different ways.
Toilets.
Would be extremely tough to keep up with all day. Like you'd have to match his intensity, and I don't know if anybody in this room combined could do that.
Zuckerberg?
No, he's got a punchable face.
He'd try to make me his meat, cooking meat in the backyard and seem really
isn't
cool.
he doing like UFC fighting now or something? Mixed martial arts. So maybe you could, go a couple rounds.
Well, yeah, he was preparing for the fight with Elon.
Yeah.
I'll give you my choice. Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Good one.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Pretty boring.
That.
Phil Knight.
No. You don't think you think Magic would be boring?
Yes.
Have you not seen him on the Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes podcast?
No.
He's really good. I mean, as long as we don't tweet, we're okay.
Yeah, I mean that's really what I'm basing it off of. Have you seen his Twitter? All right, so I'm on a list of
part owner of the Commanders.
I'm on a list of richest people.
Actually, I guess now that he's really kind of loosened up, Tiger Woods,
Taylor Swift, she's a billionaire now, right? Didn't she announce that?
But how are we hanging out? Are we hanging out for the day? Are we like in a date mode?
No, you're
just
okay, so I don't want to hang out with her.
There's no
I
love
don't
interest.
I don't want that life.
Not even for a day.
Earmuffs. Did you hear what her new boyfriend said about that life? That honestly can't go anywhere. Now it's the life she chose.
Right.
But he was telling a story that at his house in Kansas City, where he's moving from, like there were actually people in the bushes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's never had security at his house.
One day.
Like he's uncomfortable.
One day
to
live that lifestyle.
Interesting.
Obviously, it's really annoying after.
It'd be interesting.
It'd be
interesting for 24 hours to kind of like see that.
Yeah, you might have convinced me here just to see. Okay, so does it include a show in the afterwards,
that's
or are we just hanging out?
Yeah, you're hanging out. You're hanging out the entire day because that show's going to take some of your hang time away.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I would be
just
there.
gonna have to prep for it.
Yeah. So you're not gonna get full access.
I'm gonna give you a wild card because I'm staying in the sports world. Rick Hendrick of Hendrick Motorsports. He's highly successful. I'm fascinated every time I read like long form interviews of him and his mindset. That would be more of not, hey, I like NASCAR. Let's do that stuff. It would be more, you are very successful. You've made a lot of money. Just speak.
Yeah.
I think I might like hanging out with Steve Cohen all day and just laughing at him.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
You thought you could buy it?
How about Jera?
You didn't.
Jera?
Oh, see, that could be, again, for 24 hours, there'd be a lot of, let me tell you something, conversations going on. You get stories from Jira.
When I was coming up.
He would inevitably, if you want to blackmail him, he would inevitably say something
Yeah.
that you could like
Absolutely.
take to the public.
Would we be
Yeah, get a little money out of him.
Would we be what?
Would we be on his yacht?
Yeah, see, that would
Oh
be
yeah,
pretty
he
sweet.
would take you to all the places.
I'd want to
for
stay
sure.
where Mike McCarthy had to sleep over.
Look at all these billionaires.
Who is
Yeah,
the,
I
who is
think
at the top?
Tiger might tell you some stories now.
The richest person in
Yeah.
the world, according to Forbes, Bernard Arnault and family,
Oh,
fashion and retail.
And there's
no.
so many people on this list that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Now, where is the Walton family?
They're in there. I think they were in like the 40s or
Yeah.
somewhere in that
There's
range.
like 6 or 7 of them in there.
Is Buffett still top 10?
Buffett is
5, I believe.
down to 5.
Iowa JD says Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, again, that would be a good hang.
A Jerry Jones blackmail situation as well.
Yep. That's always something you got to consider. If you're going to hang out with him, at the very least, that you have something. If you need to cash in at the 11th hour, you could do that.
Can you get something on them?
Yep.
I've learned now by looking at this list that there's a lot of people who have in between $1 and $10 billion, but there's not a lot of people with more than like $50 billion. So really, $1 billion is like, I mean, come on. Yeah, you're in the club, I guess, but you're not in the.
They look down on you.
You're not in the VIP area of the club.
Ed says Mackenzie Scott.
She was on the top 100.
Well, so that's the ex of Jeff Bezos.
Yes.
Didn't she?
Yes,
She got like 27 million or something.
Yeah, she took all the money off
Didn't
him.
she donate like
Yeah,
a lot of it
yeah.
to charity?
She did
So if
what
nothing more, I'd like to just shake her hand and say, "Good for you."
She did what the entire internet wanted Bezos to do. Hey, did you know that Jeff Bezos could solve world hunger with a snap of a finger? It's like, yeah, but that's not exactly how it works.
So I
He could help,
remember,
that's for sure.
you know, when these lists would come out, you'd be like, "Whoa!" They were much shorter.
Mhm.
Does that mean we're heading in the right direction?
We
got
have
more billionaires in this country.
So
American dream.
I'm scrolling down further and further down the list. By the way, Cubes finally shows up on the list. Oh, I just lost him.
Yeah, where are you at? I'm at 238.
Mark Cuban, 591.
Wow,
That's-
Cube, step it up.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Right in front of the Dolans.
Still,
Well, he keeps investing
Oh.
in all those garbage Shark Tank ideas
Yeah,
that
it's
are
true.
losing money
Yeah,
for
it's
him.
True. Yeah, so it goes 591 Cubes, then the Dolan family, and then Jack Dorsey.
what's the
Wow.
what is the billions that
Hey, for Jack Dorsey being on
Dolans are
that
in.
list is pretty impressive.
4.6. They're all in the
4.6 mil.
4.6 range,
Okay.
which is really, I mean, just pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty. Weird.
you're pretty much still a
So
millionaire.
what did Jack Dorsey get when he sold Twitter?
I don't. Yeah.
Is that why he's
According to this list, we have over 2,500 billionaires.
Wow.
whoa?
Get paid?
I think that's too many. Tyler Perry
That's
is a
an interesting-
billionaire.
That's an interesting
Yes.
take.
I'd like to hang out with Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
When-
Can we talk about the take that he just had here that there's too many
Too
billionaires?
Many.
Mm.
Well, that's actually probably wrong. There's actually not enough, I guess. Was what
Tyler Perry. So a family here from Omaha was on the Family Feud, and they go down to
Yeah.
Atlanta where Tyler Perry has his whole studio,
Whole studio.
and then Steve Harvey, of course, is shooting Family Feud on the Tyler Perry area, which Steve Harvey and those two are together. Apparently, this is a story I was told.
It
Like
makes
Tyler
sense.
Perry is like really, really successful.
he's got $1 billion, Gary. If you're in the elite list of
But
2,500
But
people,
is he happy?
doesn't matter. He's
Is
got $1
Ste-
billion.
is Steve, hey, is Steve Harvey on that list?
Good question. I haven't seen him yet, but I've kind of
I don't think so. He's
mixed
gotta be
around
close.
a little bit.
I mean, he's gonna be close, right?
Jimmy Buffett reached over $1 billion
Oh, okay.
before.
That's an impressive estate.
Steve Harvey's net worth is $200 million.
Is Jimbo Fisher there yet?
How about LeBron James?
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now
I would definitely hang out with LeBron for a day. That would be fun.
Does Wendy get to come?
Not anymore.
Oh.
Hey, look at this guy, number 305. His name is Charles Butt.
Ah,
Suppose anyone makes fun of him?
there's so many
Now,
Chinese
it'd be-
people
hey,
on
no,
here.
it'd be
because
even
he just flicks
better
a bunch of
if he
hundies at you.
if he's like made his money in tobacco.
Nope, it's supermarkets.
Oh, okay.
Can I? Oh, We got a Steinbrenner on here. I mean,
Hank.
Yeah, I guess it's just the Steinbrenner family, I suppose. So can I like sort by Americans? Can I do that?
On the list I'm looking at. Are you on Forbes? Are you at Forbes?
Yeah,
you should be at Forbes.
I'm on Forbes.
Can you go by age
You
and
do
everything
that.
else?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I have to go to the end to get to the United States. Trying to look for American billionaires. Okay, here we go. We got wow. We got a lot of them here. Ted Turner, would you like to hang out with Ted Turner for a day?
No. I'm good.
Interesting.
What about you, Josh?
I'm a Braves fan, and I don't think I would.
Okay.
No,
Yeah. If you're not into it, then yeah.
I'm a Braves fan who watched wrestling in the '90s, and I think I'd still say no.
Isn't his money tied up in Montana on ranches? Does he still own property? I think didn't at one time he owned property in western Nebraska?
Yeah,
Wasn't he like he owned the most land in Nebraska or something like that?
I recall at one time. I believe that was correct.
Yeah.
I think he owns all the buffalo in the entire state.
Does he still have his restaurants?
Ted's Montana Grill.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
guys, I was going to. By the way, I was going to send you
85 years old.
I was going to send you guys a text. Remember, we were asking about the TGI Fridays if they still existed. There's one at the DFW airport.
Oh,
Yep.
well, that's a good place.
I was going to shoot a text. Like, they do exist still. They're hanging in there.
16 states still have a Ted's Montana Grill.
Look at that.
Confirmed.
They're all in airports.
Confirmed. Ted Turner still has a ranch out in the Sandhills.
Oh,
nice.
I wonder if he'll open it up so that Kyle Cox can come and run around there because he didn't run enough yesterday.
500
in the
yards.
D2 state championship game.
65 carries. That's it.
That guy was awesome.
Who do you think the ball's going to?
Steve Cohen, number 94 on the list, by the way.
Yeah.
He's very rich. He has a lot of money. How about Rupert Murdoch and family? Would you like to hang out with that?
Probably
Probably
just
not.
to see how much of like Succession it is.
Yeah.
So is Putin on that list? Isn't he a billionaire?
I saw Matt said Putin would be interesting.
I'm now sorting by Americans. So
He is not American.
No, correct.
Not a fan of America.
Yeah.
Well, feelings mutual, bud.
To some people in this country.
Yes, that's
true.
That is true.
Yes. Day before we get ready, 2 days before we sit at the table and we talk politics, let's go all in, boys.
Yeah. Hey, what do you guys think about Putin?
So show of hands.
Hey, pro, anti?
That Putin fella.
What do you think about the things he's doing? Things he's up to?
I used to ask people, I used to have a bit where I would just ask people just randomly, what do they think about AOC? And they're always like, I was like, what?
Now how
nobody ever said anything.
And then Aiden O'Connell ruined it.
And Alex O'Connell.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, now how if somebody said, and it became political and they were talking the AOC of DC, how long before you'd pull the ripcord in that conversation and say, I'm out?
I would ask
probably within like the first like 30 seconds.
You ask the question and then you just leave.
Yep. Oh yeah, you just leave
So
that. You leave that grenade. Is
You're
what
just
you're
a
doing.
fire starter.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're an arsonist of conversation.
That's exactly right. That's what we're here for.
That is the good thing to do at Thanksgiving is you make your way from different portions of the house.
You're working the room.
Throw the
and,
bomb in
and you know
leave.
your audience too, so you know which one is going to gather the most conversation or
And eventually it will be the game
confrontation.
of phone tag, where it will make its way back. And what you said to start a conversation will be completely changed by the time it gets back.
Well, you start it and then you purposefully move away because you don't want to know how that goes. And then more people will start to gravitate to you because that's away from the AOC conversation.
And if you're thinking about doing this, but you're not sure about it, this is what you do. Instead of going left wing, right wing, you just walk into the room and go, I'm thinking third party. And you just walk away. that way you're not like entrenched in any take or any side.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I like them all. I can't vote.
I'm thinking third party.
Donald Sterling, 4.1 billion.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to hang out with Donald Sterling for a day?
really,
should
no.
take all of his money.
I feel like you would be able to get some stuff that you could blackmail with.
Donald Sterling.
I think that would be
alive?
too easy.
It almost would be.
He may have died.
There's no,
I think
I don't
he's
know. It's been kind of
alive.
cloudy.
Isn't he still alive?
he's alive.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He's 89.
Is his silly rabbit still with him?
What's Magic Johnson ever done?
What was?
There's another one. You can just walk into the room and say, "What's Magic Johnson ever done?"
Donald Sterling was born Donald Tokowitz. His real name is Donald Tokowitz.
Yeah, Sterling's just. I mean, come on.
It's a lot cooler.
It is.
Served him well.
What was that girl's? V. Stiviano.
Yeah,
Is that what it was?
Good
his,
memory.
His silly rabbit.
Good pull.
When she was wearing like the mask around to try to stay incognito.
Looked like a member of Daft Punk.
Yeah. She had the Daft Punk like welder torch mask.
I just saw
those were
quote,
fun times.
I just saw the quote last night from the Maui Invitational, which they moved to Honolulu.
Yeah.
Bill Walton is doing the games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I believe one of the things he said was another commercial.
Yeah. He also
this
said,
is astonishing to me.
"Have you ever done that? Stood there with a vibrator, then with ice pack on your shoulders?"
Oh,
He said that.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the Theragun.
Bill Walton After Dark.
Bill Walton.
Absolutely.
If there is a Hawaiian shirt to be worn during a
can we
basketball
talk
game, Bill
about
Walton's
the
gonna find us one
Theragun?
there.
Let him cook. Yeah, sure.
Love
Did
it.
that just become a popular thing?
It did,
because
but
it
it
used to be
works.
very selective. Like you'd see it with athletic teams.
Yeah.
And now I see
Everybody's got
I
a
saw
Theragun.
somebody in the airport the other
Yeah.
day had one out. And I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm like,
Oh,
come
Every
on.
every
I,
soccer mom has.
can't bring
a
I
guns
see
into
them
the
all the time
airport.
now.
I have one. I don't use it as much as I did, but I think you're right. It was kind of cool to have. It was sort of like a status
Well,
thing.
you
like,
have one.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I
do you shoot yourself?
I do.
Interesting.
Not like
Where at? On the front? On the back?
No, actually, I
You gotta add some context.
I hit up the legs, and I'll try to get the lower back as well. But yeah, the legs, especially when I was doing like the half marathon.
Are
training stuff.
you jonesing for a Christmas
No,
present? for
I
your
hate
wife?
massages. I hate massages.
But you get to do it yourself though,
but
and it
still
doesn't
is-
really hurt.
It hurts. That's the problem.
You got different speeds.
I'm past the point in my
It's like the
life
bread maker.
where I need I don't want a massage anymore because it's too late. I'm already too tight.
Damage is done.
I'm already
Oh.
too tight. You can't loosen me at this point.
No, So I had a 90-minute massage when we were in Mexico. My wife booked us a couples one. It's dirt cheap, by the way. And I'm like, 90 minutes? My God, that's way too
I
long.
know. Yeah, I'd be like, hell no.
I realize that can go by real fast. I was like, I was like drooling.
So how'd you feel after?
Great. Loose as a goose.
See, I think
Yeah,
you're
I felt
completely
amazing.
off here. That's a
Felt
bad.
amazing.
You need to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every time
They do
every
wonders,
time
man.
somebody touches me, I don't like it.
Well, that's a problem. Well, that's a problem.
Does your wife know this?
What, are you like Francis from Stripes?
Are you saving yourself for?
Yeah, like last night. Last night I have this just little cramp kind of pops up in my neck, shoulder right
See, this
here.
would be
the
the great
trap.
thing for the
Yeah.
gun. Then you could just gunned it.
And she's like, "Do you need me to get it?" And I was like, "No, don't, because it just makes it worse.
Oh.
I think you.
It just makes it feel
I
bad.
think you should start with a Theragun.
Yeah, Theragun's nice.
I got a couple more billionaires for you.
They're
guys.
they're a lot more affordable than they were when they first came out too.
Well, let's do the obvious here. President T.
Yes.
I would like to hang out with President T for a day, to be completely honest with you. Just to see how many strokes he's shaving off of his golf game.
Whoa.
Oh, is this not public information?
How dare you?
He's not having the people throw it onto the green.
Like the best golfers in the world, it's like John Smoltz, President T right behind him.
Dylan.
John Smoltz.
Oprah has the same amount of money
Okay.
as President T.
Now she would be an interesting hang for
What's
a day.
Oprah even up to?
What isn't she up to? Is
so,
the bigger question.
Quick question on Oprah, and you three may not know, so I'm going to be talking to the wind.
I'll try.
Why did her and Stedman never get married?
Okay,
but they're still together.
Chet Stedman?
I always
the
assume
Rocket. Well, it's clear.
They were together?
It's clearly obvious. He had shoulder issues.
you bum. I'm not marrying you. I always assumed it was because she didn't want to deal with the financials of a breakup.
Okay, that could be.
Oh,
That's a great call.
They've
and
got
very
like
smart,
the
too.
Goldie Hawn,
Kurt Russell.
Russell relationship,
Michael Jordan's on here.
Hey, if
which
it wor-
sounds
if
like
it
a good
works
deal
for-
if you can get it.
Yeah, if it works for both of them, then more power to you.
This is from Oprah in 2020, this January of 2020, so the world had not changed yet. I realized I didn't actually want a marriage. I wanted to be asked. I wanted to know He felt I was worthy of being his missus.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't want the sacrifices, the compromises, the day in, day out commitment required to make a marriage work.
She's not willing to compromise.
My life with the show was my priority, and we both knew it.
It's a good self-scout.
Okay. So when they say, don't always bury yourself in work, have family come first, she's just saying, you know what? That's not how I'm built.
She's
all about work.
She's like me in massages. She's just like, it's too late. I'm already committed to this Oprah bit.
Did not have Connor and comparing himself to Oprah this morning, but here we are.
That is
very
Thanksgiving.
It's a great holiday week. Never know what's going to happen there.
Michael Jordan is an obvious one. That would probably be the actual winner if you're asking me which billionaire I want to hang out with. But there's a lot of other funny options on here. If you're going, like if you want to just have an interesting day, just one day, then there's a lot of more interesting options. But Michael Jordan, you know what you're getting with him.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna
golf and gambling.
You're gonna probably burn a couple cigars, maybe more than a couple, and play some golf. You fly the PJ to wherever. You're
gonna be betting on something.
I would love to get roasted by Michael Jordan. Roast me, Michael Jordan. I'd probably play basketball.
I don't think that is the real name of the subreddit. Of
roast me, Michael Jordan.
You guys ever gone on to that?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hilarious.
You either have to put yourself out there and then never read the comments, or be pretty strong and funny, because there are a lot of young people that will post their picture on Hello.
Wow. How about that special teams play right there, Memorial Stadium?
Oh, look at that. It gets rough in there
at the inch. At the inch yard line.
It gets rough in there pretty quickly.
I mean, I'm not walking around the street going, "Hey, roast me." What do you think? Roast me. Let's.
But if it was Michael Jordan, I'd be like, "Yeah, fire away, man."
So there are 3.8
What do you think of me?
That have joined roast me?
Okay.
Like if I asked Michael Jordan, I walked up to him and I was like, "Michael, what do you think of me?" What do you think Michael Jordan would say? Do you think he would hold back?
Who's the PGA pro that if you send in your swing, he will do like a full Twitter video breakdown?
I love that.
And it's hilarious. He basically makes you feel like you've never golfed a day in your life, but it's really funny. And
so this is beyond repair.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. 18-year-old short and ugly French American roast me. Moved to the U.S. when I was 14. Work at Subway. Haven't had a girlfriend in 2 years. I look hideous, and I go to the gym at 2 a.m. Can't roast me harder than God already has.
Wow. I find that hard to believe with Reddit.
One of the first ones is, how many Frenchmen does it take to defend Paris? I don't know. It's never been done. I know. I like how your haircut gives you a 3-inch height boost. You really didn't know. You didn't really need to specify short and ugly. We have eyes. You go to the gym at 2 a.m. What, in your dreams?
He's scrolling through the ones he can't read on the radio.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Here's Tiger Woods. He's on here.
You'll make your wife's side dude very happy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it gets.
You look like the only guy in the moped gang that prefers riding in a sidecar. Gee. You look like when God made you, he was going through his YOLO phase.
God was like, why not? Let's try this out. See what happens.
Never done this combo before.
That's awesome.
Matt emails in billionaire golf. Kim Jong-un apparently hit a hole-in-one on every hole for 18 holes.
That's right. He shot an 18 one day.
Wow, that's amazing.
So Kim Jong-un and Trump and
who wins that golf game?
I know.
That's what
whose word do you take?
Hey,
that's the next match?
Yes.
I shot a 17.
The next match. Oh my gosh.
I hit it in one
Kim
hole
Jong-un
so hard it
versus
bounced
Trump
out
in
into
the
the
next match.
Well,
yeah.
Do that, Capital One.
There's that dude from Corey Oaks. He can get involved in it too. That cheated.
You know what's funny? I think they'd both be down.
Oh yes.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
I think they'd both be down.
Pretty sure you're right.
Huge game of chicken, and neither of them's backing down.
Which course would they play at? That's the question. But
yeah, you're gonna have to do one in
home and home.
There'll be a home and home. Yeah, we got a home and home.
One in Mar-a-Lago and one in North Korea.
Yeah. Ooh. How are the greens out there in North
this
Korea?
is a fantastic idea.
The next match, some of the best golf you've ever seen.
That's got to be a poll question.
And Barkley is on the call.
Yeah. Hey,
man,
I saw that one went into the crap over there, but why is it on the green?
Yeah, somehow it just bounced right in.
You just hear a gun cock in the background.
This is. Yeah.
Are you still on the Reddit page?
The roast me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God in his YOLO face. That's hilarious.
Jeffy Smack, how mad would you be if you asked to hang out with Michael Jordan, but Michael B. Jordan actually showed up
Oh, you know
instead?
what?
I wouldn't be mad about
Michael
that.
B would be pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
He'd be a good hang.
Initially, I'd be like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, but then I'm like,
Okay, this ain't so bad.
Okay, I can pivot.
So all the Creed movies are now on the Southwest app to watch when you're on the flight.
Okay.
I
love
have not
Southwest.
gotten
Jordan is really
through Creed 3, but I know. So I started watching it on the Southwest flight, and
Love that in-flight Wi-Fi.
then we landed.
Oh,
So I didn't get through it. So don't tell me how it ends, guys.
okay. It's very good. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted.
Have you did you pay the $8 for the full range of the Wi-Fi?
No.
Oh, dude, I did that on
No.
my flight from New York this last summer. Honestly, I don't think that I'll ever not do it again. On any flight over an
It
hour,
was good.
I just I like to have the access, to
Yeah.
stuff. I could watch whatever I want. I could do whatever I want. I could tweet from the sky.
Well, that's important.
Do you guys remember there was one time that our parents and a little bit older people used to fly and you could smoke on the plane. So you're in a tube and you could smoke.
Yeah.
But you remember when they would have the phone in front of you on
Yes.
the back of the seat and you have to put your credit card in
Yep.
to dislodge it and
Yeah,
make
so
a call?
Yeah.
Where'd those go?
They replaced them with now you can not only the tray table, but now you can put your phone in there.
Yes.
You just set your phone. It's got its own little. Your phone has a tray table now
I love
as well.
Those in the
is great.
payphones, I think they went away at the same time.
I think we were down to one payphone left in Omaha. Last I checked, there was one at maybe 24th.
Did they
Nice.
take the bank out at the airport on the
Yes.
on the bottom floor there?
Yeah.
Sad.
That is sad.
End of an era. They probably just did that last year, somewhere around there.
We did see one we walked by in Mexico
you-
and thought
can
maybe
you-
it was just a prop.
Can you make a collect call anymore? I would use a
Right?
a payphone.
Don't
when I didn't have any
inmates
money
still have
to
to
call
do-
home when I was in college.
Don't you have to do that when you get calls from prison?
Yeah, but do you have to pay?
I think you have to accept it, don't you?
Well, yeah, you have to accept, I guess.
You guys never you didn't have any money, so you had to call home. So you'd call collect, and then they would say no to the charges, and then they'd call your parents would call you right back.
I
Or
can't
is-
remember a time where I ever had to use a payphone. I know that. I mean, I was around when they existed. I was always around my parents if they had to use one.
I
Yeah.
loved it. Or
But-
you would hang up and you thought your quarter came back out.
They were
I was
gone
so
by
excited.
the time I got it.
Instead of
Phone.
your name, you just say, "Hey, Mom, I'm over at Billy's. Everything's fine."
Yeah.
And then they just
Had a baby,
send
it's a
out
boy.
charge. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I was in Canada not too long ago, there are still quite a few payphones in Canada, like in hotels.
Love
Really?
that.
Oh. Star Wars Fiend says there's one a payphone on the Quick Shop at 95th and Q.
Really?
Thank you, Star Wars feed. Appreciate that.
Hold on here.
I can't. I don't know. I can't confirm
I
that.
can't picture 95th and Q.
No, I can't either.
Sure,
it
Jonathan
exists.
says there's a payphone in the Rusty Nail.
Still?
Oh, that makes sense.
Really?
Actually.
It's been a few years since I've been in the Rusty Nail, but I would assume that was no longer
Does
there.
anybody know how to use it?
Probably not.
Well, it's what's so hard about it. You just pick up the phone and you start dialing.
But you got to put your quarters
Yeah, I
in.
gotta
put
get.
your
Do you
quarter-
have quarters?
You
with
got to
you?
have a
What
quarter.
does even
yeah.
a call cost on a payphone nowadays?
Yeah, is it not even 25 cents more? Is it up to like 50?
It's probably inflation. You got to put
Yeah.
your credit card in.
Maybe 75 cents now
God, I remember
for like
when I
a
first
5 minute
went to
call.
school in Lincoln, I was so excited when my mom would send me the phone
Oh,
cards.
Did you get the calling card?
Like you had 60 minutes on a
Yeah.
card.
Calling cards are awesome.
You didn't know that.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
calling cards.
You're,
yep.
you're a
So,
cell phone
I did
guy.
not know that.
So I Googled how much does a payphone cost in 2023, and it came up you can buy a payphone for $80.
Oh, you can buy one? Oh, that would be awesome.
Could you?
Now that would be like an attraction.
That was in a Chevy
Yeah,
Chase
right?
movie, a funny farm. They install a payphone instead of their phone. They're like living out in the country and they're supposed to install like a wall phone and instead they install a payphone.
But if
That
you
would be awesome.
think about that, like if you put a payphone in your man cave, You know, it's like that and the popcorn popper.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, what do I do with this? Can I use it? Can I actually make calls on this?
Well,
Does it work?
What if you are?
I'm going to call everyone I know.
What if you are?
And then they don't remember anybody's phone
before
number.
cell phones. What if you were in a house that had like teenagers that like to talk on the phone and they were chewing up the phone?
Okay.
Yeah.
You just instead install a payphone in the house, and that's what the kids use.
It's a good idea. It would have been a good idea.
A good parenting move.
50 cents is what a call costs in
Wow.
most places.
2 quarters.
Twice.
2 quarters.
I think before they went out, like completely went out, like the last time I think I ever used a payphone, I do think it was up to 35 cents. So I think
See,
it did.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think it was
I
35
thought it was a
cents.
weird number. Like
I'd
that.
rather have it be 50
Yeah, to
cents.
have the quarter and a dime or a couple nickels.
Where am I gonna find a dime in 2023?
On the street.
Yeah.
We had a dime ghost in our house for a while.
I left 3 pennies at Jimmy's desk the other day, and he still hasn't touched them. I go,
pennies?
does anybody want these 3 pennies? And everyone obviously said no, so I just left them at Jimmy's desk, and they have not been touched since. I don't think anybody's going to pick up those 3 pennies.
I always pick up pennies on the ground.
That's
for
weird.
the lucky.
Yes,
You're the lucky penny guy.
I don't
Heads-
ever use pennies.
heads
I
up.
don't very rarely use cash.
So if you see it tails up, do you flip it over to heads up and leave it?
I don't really think about it, but I know what the meaning is behind it.
There is some popping going on in this state final right now.
Yeah, this would
My
be a good game.
goodness.
Class C1.
Some guy just completely got upended who was actually one of the protectors on the punt. He just took a guy down at like wrestling style. It was amazing.
Looks like it's going to be a lovely day at Memorial Stadium today.
Little breezy.
Are we going to have the window open again?
Hell yeah, we are.
Okay, we'll switch sides.
That's fine. Bring your big coat.
My
Bring
pea coat.
Bring your poofy jacket.
I will bring my vortex.
Something that blocks off the wind. That's all. Yeah. Oh yeah. The windows stay open. I can't do a broadcast without being out in the elements.
Love that.
That is like my least favorite thing is when a window has to be closed, especially during baseball. Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to hear.
Even with the crowd mic outside,
It doesn't matter.
no, need the window
You
open.
got to hear that ping.
Yep. I'm with you.
Ping. Like last night I heard the guy punt it.
Yes, you did.
The guy from Scott bombed it like 60 yards, and I heard the punt. I was like, whoa. I don't hear that.
Interesting.
I
A lot
don't
of
hear that very much.
a lot of children booting the ball very far in Memorial Stadium.
By the way,
Not a lot of college
I
guys.
meant to say Gore-Tex, not vortex.
Yeah.
I was thinking too much of the Omaha Storm Chasers.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That was a little slide jab there on Brian Boucher.
Well, he's injured, so I feel bad about it.
Well, the good
better
news
be.
is we get to see the greatest punter of all time
He
this
better be.
Friday in Torrey
Yep,
Taylor.
Torrey Taylor's coming to Lincoln, everyone.
That's the show.
Yep.
Well, that's why I think the
goes
line.
Caitlin
I think
Clark,
that's
and
why
then
the
goes
line
Torrey
is
Taylor.
because he might be injured.
Torrey Taylor?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the line how it's flipped.
MVP. Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week again.
A lot of these games, the difference for Nebraska has been the fact that they just don't have that one guy. Iowa's guy is Torrey Taylor. That's the guy that they don't. That
That's
Nebraska
true.
just doesn't
That
have.
is true. You always ask for the quarterback that can mask any type of offensive line issues or anything. Why not the punter?
You got a punter.
The punter can just mask anything.
I can tell you, if Nebraska's starting all the drives inside their own 15-yard line, they are not scoring. It's not going to happen. So Torrey Taylor is like the biggest presence in the game.
I think Ed Foley needs to go to Australia in the offseason and find a punter.
Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Seriously.
actually.
Figure out something.
Also, tweet some pictures of the food.
The Australian cuisine.
That'd be great. What kind of pops they're drinking there? I like how the lower class teams do it, by the way. They all have names on the back of their jerseys.
They do. Yes, they do.
Do they get to keep them, or do they just rip off like the nameplate? and then-
No. You get to keep your jersey.
I think they get to keep them.
That's crazy to me.
When I was a senior, well, some places you have to buy your jersey.
Yeah, but like I was never.
But you get to keep your home and away jersey.
Yeah, that definitely was not the case for me.
Nebraska football players, I think, get the choice of either one. I think that
keeping their home or away, they can.
A
have
couple
both.
years ago, I asked a player, and they said, at the end of the year, if you're not a senior, you get to choose. You can keep your home or away.
Okay,
that'd be nice.
And then the following year, you choose the other one.
Because I think they're afraid that even the alternate jerseys, guys will take them and sell them.
Which they will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All you got to do is go on eBay once the season's over. Or
Ad-
any other site
Adrian
like that.
Martinez GarageSale.com.
Yeah.
About due for one of those.
The
aren't we?
Adrian Martinez Marketplace.
They had so when I was in school in the 90s, there were guys that were selling gear out of like their dorm room.
Oh yeah.
Like their shoes. Like the shoes were super popular. Like a lot of people wanted to have those Adidas.
You just need to know which guy had your shoe size.
So There were players that would be like, oh man, hey Glenn Abbott, I got a foot problem. I need a bigger shoe. And they're getting like a new pair of shoes every week.
Mm-hmm.
And then people started to get on to him like, okay.
Why do you need so many shoes?
I looked in your locker and I don't see a stack of shoes.
Yeah. What you doing with those?
They're all gone. They're in a box somewhere, sold to the highest bidder. Well, guys.
Man, it's breezy out there, boys.
It is breezy. I can't wait. I'm excited for tonight. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Have a good call.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, gentlemen.
You as well.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. I'll see you when we rendezvous.
Yes, we have our drop spot.
Mm-hmm. It's undisclosed location.
Who's the wheelman tonight?
I think it's going to be me.
Okay.
Gary drove last night, paid for parking like a gentleman.
Wow.
You like to drive, though.
I'll return the favor tonight.
Okay. I thought maybe you'd take both trips.
I owe you one because last time you drove us to the spring game, too. So,
man.
Yeah, we make it 2
For
to
a guy
1.
like you who loves to drive, I'm surprised.
I could hop in the passenger seat for 30 minutes.
Okay.
But how much, if we had gone longer, would you have been like, nah, I'll drive?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't. I'm with you. As I've gotten older, I like to drive. I like to be in charge.
I like to drive.
So we go when I want to go, we go where we want to go.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. What's that? You got to go to the bathroom. Can you wait another 45 minutes?
Yeah, I don't want to be I don't want to be at the mercy of the person driving.
No, never.
That's a good call.
But luckily, not too many stops from here to Lincoln.
Hopefully not.
Thank you guys. That is the crossover
Yeah,
powered
good
by
show.
Everlevel Concrete
We
Repair.
will not have a good Thanksgiving. I will not see you, Josh. We'll
That's
be,
right.
out,
Yes.
in
Yeah. You
Nebrasketball.
guys have a great
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yes.
Enjoy your turkey. Eat the turkey.
The game at Iowa Western will be,
They will be facing Kilgore,
as you called it,
Sunday, December 3rd, 2:00 kickoff at Titan Stadium in Council Bluffs.
The same day as Nebraska Creighton.
Apparently.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh. Jake's going to be preoccupied. He didn't have to do the PA.
He
but
doesn't. Yeah.
He's going to be checking his phone.
You can watch the game on ESPN Plus, or you can come on down.
Let's go.
Awesome.
I like that they're on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
It must have been some agreements there.
Well, the playoffs are.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Is the championship game still on CBS Sports Network?
It is on ESPNU now.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Still in Little Rock?
It is.
All right. You had so much fun there last year. I hope you get to go back.
I would love to go for a third consecutive year. Yes.
There was a little flex.
Oh,
in
it
there.
was. Yeah.
Yes. He loves it.
Yeah, baby.
You caught that, huh?
All right. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Windy and chilly for your Tuesday. Expect north to northwest winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour in the morning, still gusting up to 30 miles per hour in the afternoon. Expect a lot more sunshine, though. Highs topping out in the low 40s with feels like temperatures in the 30s most of the day. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Salute for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson, of course, and in the O Market as well. Listen, Thanksgiving is around the corner. You know this already. You're preparing. You're getting your turkey ready, all your sides. But dessert, that's the most important part. So make the call now for some to-go size orders from Ted and Wally's. Whether it's a pint, a quart, or half gallons, you'll be ready for your party, your Thanksgiving as well. Great flavors, over 3,000 of them, over 35 years in business providing you wonderful ice cream. Head over to Ted and Wally's now and tell them Severe sent you.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Betting on your favorite sporting events just got a whole lot easier. Warhorse Sportsbook is now open in Omaha. Save yourself the drive across the river and put your money where your mouth is at Horseman's Park, 6303 Q Street. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Udson with you. Tuesday, but it's really like Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how your week's going to go. With Thursday spending time for turkey and family and football.
The correct takes.
And Friday, watching Nebraska football play against Iowa. Or if you're not interested in that kind of thing, doing whatever else. Isn't there Black Friday NFL this year?
The Dolphins are playing.
Fins up, Josh.
That's what they say.
Speaking of the NFL, we will dive into some topics today on NFL reaction, overreaction. I'm excited to debut a new game inside of that segment.
A game inside a game?
It's a game inside of a game.
Wow, those writers are getting really creative.
Yep, we go big meta here. Should be fun. And on the NFL, we'll talk to Allan Bell in just a little bit at 11:30. Jacob Bigelow will join, talk some Nebraska basketball, who has their premier non-conference game. I guess aside from Creighton, Nebraska basketball has their premier non-conference game of the season tomorrow when they host Duquesne.
The Dukes.
Duquesne's good. It's top 100 team.
Yeah.
Watch out for Duquesne. Nebraska is able to compound that performance that they had against Oregon State at the Sanford Pentagon, then I don't know. People are kind of already cooking with Nebraska basketball, right? People are already there. It's amazing what a good schedule will do for you. It's amazing what happens when you play when you start the season 5-0.
People are excited.
People get excited. People get excited in a hurry. It doesn't take much for people to buy in. So Jacob will join us at 1:00 as he does, and we'll talk with our old friend Mike Sautter today.
Whoa.
I said, Mike Sautter, would you like to come on the show? And he said, sure. But when? I'll be at Memorial Stadium literally all day long. So we'll do that at about 1:15, 1:20.
Maybe we'll have time for some Jets takes.
I would imagine that there would always be space in there. Elsewhere, we will hear from Matt Rule from yesterday. I just want to take a deeper dive into a couple of the things that he had to say yesterday about a variety of different topics, of course. So we'll get to that here momentarily. I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate with the take that we had about the college football playoff last week, I think, Josh. Remember when we said, hey, this is going to work out and you're an idiot if you can't see how it's going to work out? I'll go devil's advocate and give you a scenario or two where it might not work itself out.
Okay.
Heading into the final. Either way, this is probably the latest in the regular season in the college football playoff era where you can't see an obvious scenario where it just quote unquote works itself out and you get the 4. And there's some things that could happen this weekend and next, obviously, that would throw huge wrenches into that. But we'll just play it pretty normal. And we'll play it out over the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what we have. Because right now, the way I see it, we have 9 playoff contenders.
Oh.
9
That's a lot.
9 Power 5 teams with chances to win conference championships with 1 loss or less at this moment. By the way, that includes Louisville.
Okay.
That's right. Louisville is a college football playoff contender.
Well,
not really.
I was looking at the top 10 and I'm like, Missouri's number 9. This guy doesn't think Missouri has a chance, right?
I do not think Missouri has a chance. And I also don't think Louisville has a chance. But yes.
But they might get to the end and say, hey, we have a legitimate case.
Yeah, we are the conference champions. We have 1 loss. Why not us? They would say. And everyone else would say, well, because you're Louisville. That's why you can't make the college football playoff. So we'll get into that here in just a little while as well. The lineup powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Always want to hear from you guys. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. Have fun on the social media today, because what you will see is a never-ending stream of build your perfect Thanksgiving plate.
Oh, yeah.
Turkey costs $5. Ham costs $4.
You want to roll, that's $3.
Tofu turkey costs $1. I might pair the tofu turkey with, as long as I can get some good mac and cheese for $5. Have fun.
My favorites are always the one that's like, and a water is $1. Like, wait, whoa, you're charging me for water now?
Yeah, the one I'm looking at right now is, so the $5 down the line is whole turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, mac and cheese, and pumpkin pie.
What are you saying no to? Because you only get what, $15?
You get 20.
20.
You get 20 in this case. And then you can buy sides as well. You can buy gravy, biscuits, Hawaiian rolls, and cornbread for a various amount of dollars as well. So yeah,
interesting. Some of us don't need to buy gravy. Interesting.
Some of us don't need to buy gravy. Some of us are weirdos. That's for sure. So yeah, enjoy that. Post them all on Facebook and start some great conversations with your family members. You can send those our way as well, by the way, because we like your guys' takes as well. At Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, also at producer_Josh there as well. Equitable Bank inbox, Connor at 1620thezone.com, Josh O at 1620thezone.com. We say good morning to our YouTube watching audience this morning, where Charles asks, how did the thermos hold up for Connor last night? I wasn't a hot drinker last night at the high school football game. I considered it.
Okay.
But I'm not to the point in my coffee drinking journey where I feel like I need the coffee at all times.
Just got to have it in your hand all day.
No, I'm not there yet. I did say jokingly to young producer Dick yesterday morning, and he got triggered immediately. I said jokingly, don't talk to me until I've had my morning coffee. Don't talk to me until I have a morning coffee.
He became that guy.
And he got mad at that, but I was just messing with him. You can talk to me at any point during the day. That's the official rules. And whatever else you guys have today on the show should be a good one, and a little bit of a crowded Tuesday. Josh will unveil his bottom 5 NFL teams. What do we do with the New York Giants this week, who won a football game?
They did.
I think you're forced to move them down.
Sure.
And a new team claims or reclaims that number 1 spot. And maybe it's a team that I enjoy.
Well, I mean,
they do suck.
The Panthers coach did not tackle his own quarterback and then bench him.
No. I get it. They stink. So there's that. And we'll get to that throughout the show today. All right. We will start things off here from Matt ruled yesterday. Like I said, just a few things that I want to just kind of pick at a little bit, parse apart. I don't necessarily need to spend a whole lot of time on Saturday anymore, like the whole what did you do at the end of the game thing, because I feel like we parsed through that enough. But there was the Tony White stuff, which was which was interesting. And then there was the Chuba stuff that was at the beginning of the press conference that kind of went under the radar. But I know a lot of people's question this week is, okay, well, if Chuba is clearly the best quarterback, which I would, I could argue with, I suppose, or anybody could argue with. If Chuba's the best quarterback, then why wasn't he playing earlier in the season? Rule gave us a little bit on that yesterday. So we'll dive into that and more when we return on a Tuesday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? 1620 The Zone's 4-quarter pick'em returns. It's your chance to win $1,620. All you have to do is correctly pick 4 college or NFL games against the spread. Listen to qualify every weekday or enter online at 1620thezone.com. One lucky listener will be selected each week to make their picks live on air.
Awesome.
Go to 1620thezone.com for complete rules and contest details. It's 4-quarter pick'em with 1620 The Zone.
Betting on your favorite sporting events just got a whole lot easier. Warhorse Sportsbook is now open in Omaha. Save yourself the drive across the river and put your money where your mouth is at Horseman's Park, 6303 Q Street. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Give thanks because FanDuel is giving all customers a no-sweat same-game parlay for Thanksgiving. All you have to do is place a 3-leg, get it on Thanksgiving, same-game parlay on any of the Thanksgiving Day NFL games, and you'll get bonus bets back if you don't win. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from the popular same-game parlays pre-built on your FanDuel top-rated sportsbook app. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/zone. That's the promo code to use, ZONE, so you don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay in America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 over, present Iowa. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issues non-withdrawable bonus bets expires 7 days after receipt. Maximum refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hey, it's Connor Happer. Join Gary Sharp and I for the Class A state championship game tonight on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Great Plains Home Exterior. Tonight, it's the 1-seeded, undefeated Omaha Westside Warriors against the 3-seeded Class A Elkhorn South. Coverage of the high school football state championship games on 1620 The Zone is brought to you by Great Plains Home Exteriors. The Class A state championship game tonight, broadcast starts at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:15, right here on 1620 The Zone.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long. And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
And just quickly here, because I saw it this morning, the 2024 Hall of Fame ballot is out.
Baseball.
And when I say the 2024 Hall of Fame ballot is out, you know that I'm talking about baseball, because we don't talk about Hall of Fames in any other sports. And especially we don't talk about the voting process. First ballot, guys. This is always fun to me. Adrian Beltre is going to get in first ballot.
I think so.
Joe Mauer, Chase Utley, David Wright, Bartolo Colon, Matt Holliday, Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Bautista,
bat flip,
Jose Reyes, Victor Martinez, Brandon Phillips, and my favorite baseball player who's ever worn a Kansas City Royals uniform, James Shields.
Oh, big game James.
Now, if I had a Hall of Fame vote, I'd vote for James Shields, but I may be the only one.
Why don't we have a Hall of Fame vote?
Yeah, seriously. Can we be included in this conversation?
I understand we're not a part of the Baseball Writers of America, but you need to get away from just writers.
Now, I know what you're thinking. James Shields never won a Cy Young, and he was only an all-star one time in his career.
That's enough.
But I would vote for James Shields because I love that guy. And I believe that he had a major hand in turning around the Kansas City Royals in 2014, where he did finish 18th in the MVP race, by the way.
I mean, what more do you need?
What more do you need?
Case made.
Elsewhere on the ballot for the second time, K-Rod. He got 10.8% of the vote last year.
That's not going to get it done.
Todd Helton coming back for more on his 6th time on the ballot. He needs just 2.5% more to get into the Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Carlos Beltran. A-Rod has seen his numbers, I think, increase a little bit over his first 3 years in the ballot, but still quite a ways short of Hall of Fame ability.
Put Andrew in the Hall, cowards.
Andrew Jones, Omar Vizquel, Andy Pettit, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, Mark Burley, and Torrey Hunter. That makes up the 26 names on the Hall of Fame ballot 2024. Love Hall of Fame baseball conversations. We don't have conversations like this in any other sport. It's like the thing that baseball has.
What do we have that's just ours, guys?
And then we inevitably talk about the voting process and how it's convoluted and weird and like why wouldn't Adrian Beltre? Who didn't vote for Adrian Beltre? Why isn't he unanimous?
I demand a name.
Right. But he'll get into the Hall of Fame. He probably won't be unanimous, and then we'll dox the guy who didn't vote for Adrian Beltre to get into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. So there you go. There's the Hall of Fame ballot 2024. I could spend the whole show on it, but we won't.
Oh.
We'll save you guys.
Okay.
From that, we'll go back to Matt Rule from yesterday. All right, so Chubba. So we're all in agreement. I think we set this yesterday. Chubba Purdy is Nebraska's starting quarterback on Friday.
Top of the depth chart.
Right? I mean, there's no... I don't even think that's a conversation. I think it was a question that was brought up at some point over the weekend. Like, there's no doubt about it. Chubba's your starting quarterback on Friday. You roll with that. But then what happens with Chubba with beyond is a question. But how did we get to this point? And if Chubba looks like Nebraska's most competent quarterback, you could ask the question, where was Chubba the first 10 games of the season? I think that's a completely fair question to ask. Matt Rule shed a little bit of light on that yesterday. Josh, let's go to number one. What is Chubba overcome to get to this point?
Well, I think I think when you see someone have success, it usually stems from their ability to overcome some sort of adversity. So, I think he's learned and grown a lot over the course of this year. I'll let them speak. I'll let Chubba and Heinrich and them speak about, the things they've endured in their time to college. I won't speak for them, but I think, I think coming into this year, I challenged Chubba a lot in the spring. I challenged him in the fall. As I've said, if you go back to my statements, I thought he was having a great camp and he got banged. He got hurt. He's gotten healthier and healthier and healthier. You certainly see the speed that he has. And he's got moxie and toughness. So I told him before the game, not after the game. I told him before the game, you're going to play well. And people are going to say, why didn't you play earlier? And, I showed these guys a lot of different videos. I showed them Kobe Bryant. I showed them, over the last couple weeks, it's been Kobe Bryant, like going through adversity to become a great player. I think Chubba has endured, some of the physical adversity and then not playing and gotten just better and better and better. He's played on the scout team. He's taken the reps when we've given them to him. And so when he went out there, I thought he played free and just kind of played the play. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I kind of told him that ahead of time because I knew he was going to play well. And I could see that when he went out there last week. I could see that in practice this past week.
So you mentioned in there, I challenged Chubba. Challenged him in the offseason, challenged him during the season. By the way, in that first clip, he didn't mention anything about an injury when that was the thing that had sort of been out there at first, where he said, "Oh, I think maybe Chubba would have went in there if we needed to play a backup quarterback after Jeff Sims got hurt at Colorado, but Chubba wasn't ready to go in because he wasn't healthy." Rule here on number 2, Josh. So this is, by the way, a simple question. Hey, you said you challenged Chubba. What was the challenge? Right? That rule. What was the challenge?
Yeah, I mean, he was just pretty far down on the depth chart, and yeah, he just. I'll let him speak on it more. I don't want to say anything that I just challenged him a lot, and he answered the call. I mean, he's a fighter. He's not a quitter. He's a fighter, and he got better in the spring. I thought he really got better over the summer. I thought he got better in camp. I thought he suffered some adversity in camp. I thought throughout the course of this year, we've given him some chances in some practices over the course of the year. But I thought, when he went in the game, you saw what you see, what he does on the scout team. Honestly, when he gets on the scout team, he runs around, makes plays free. I thought he played free. And then this week with pressure, with a whole week of preparation, with a game plan, with all these different things, he went out and played the same way. So, you've heard me talk about guys killing the bear, like overcoming that thing that holds us all back. I thought maybe he did that through the course of the week. Maybe he'll sit up here and tell you. That's what I'm saying. He might say something different. I don't tell our players what to say. He might say, like, Coach Rule's messed up and should have played me all along. Him and Heinrich are best friends. Let Heinrich tell you what he's been through to get to this point. We're sitting at the game and people, everyone's happy about Chubba. Heinrich was 5-3 as a starter for us too. He didn't get to finish that last game. Ask him about his journey to get here. So I'm proud of all the guys. When they go out to represent us, I can't tell you how hard guys work. And really proud of Chubba. He could have folded, he could have quit, and he has never done that. And that's to me, that's the mark of a guy who ends up being a good player.
So the injury timeline on Chubba is a little bit unclear, right? So he wasn't ready to go in at Colorado, and then they went with Heinrich, and Heinrich got going on this kind of win streak, and so it just naturally took place where Jeff Sims was already put to the side because of what had happened earlier in the year, and he had been beat up for a little while, and they didn't want to go back to there, and then Heinrich got hurt. And then you sort of have to go with Chubba. I've seen it happen so many times, Josh. I talk about this often. But, oftentimes when coaches are forced into something by just what their personnel tells them to do, it can work. Because when you go into a season, you have this idea of how you want it to go. And you want it to you want to stick to the plan. You want to stick to the idea. And I think that we should credit this coaching staff for being able to sort of adapt a little bit. But I know we've only seen one game of Chubba. I mean, he is the best quarterback on the roster, right?
I think
can we say that?
I think he'd get my vote.
I don't want to be I'm trying not to be too in the moment, hot take, whatever. But he seems like, just from a skill set standpoint, that he is Nebraska's best quarterback and most capable quarterback in the pass game for what they want to do, and certainly does enough in the run game for what this team is. He's kind of the perfect combination in that regard. He leans a little bit more, like if there's a scale on him, he leans a little bit more to the side of, I kind of want to throw it, but obviously he can make some plays with his legs as well. It allowed Nebraska to use the quarterback run as an accent piece in their most recent game. And I made this point last week. Like when teams talk, we have opponent guests on from the other side on every week. And they always talk about, Heinrich Harburg is a running quarterback, or Jeff Sims is a running quarterback, and enter team here, Big Ten West team, has struggled with running quarterbacks before. And I often want to say back to them, yeah, but This is a running only quarterback. Everyone has problems with a running quarterback who's throwing and then he's making plays with his leg. That's why his legs. That's why everyone has problems with the guys in the NFL, but you have to have like the throwing part of it down as well. If you're a true, like, that's why everyone has problems with Patrick Mahomes.
Eagles
among many things. Eagles didn't. That is true. I don't know. I might look at Marcus Valdez-Scantling and Travis Kelce and say what happened there.
What's going on here, boys?
But everyone has problems with that guy for a variety of different reasons. Obviously, this is probably a bad example because he's just so talented with his arm. But what he does that's special is, yes, he makes the throws, but also he makes stuff happen with his legs after stuff breaks down. He keeps plays alive. He's able to run for 5 yards at a time. That's the most frustrating part of playing Patrick Mahomes. You have everything tied up in the secondary. Guys are running down the field. There's nobody open. And Patrick Mahomes is like, sure, I'll take the 7 yards and run out of bounds. Great. I'll do it every time. Please do not take this as me comparing Chuba Purdy to Patrick Mahomes. But that's
nor it be disrespect for the Chiefs.
You're using quarterback run game, quote unquote, as an accent piece to what you're doing on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that's what Chuba brings to the table. That's what a quarterback is supposed to do. You have to have the throw game part of it in there first. So once again, the injury timeline is a little fuzzy with him, but when you look back and Nebraska's losing these games because they're turning it over 5 times against Maryland, I am sitting there thinking, well, could it have been possible for Chuba Purdy to only throw 2 picks? Yeah. I mean, that's the worst part about this season. That's the revisionist history that we'll look back on this. You know, it was a really nice schedule set up for them to win. They were pulling it off despite some of their shortcomings in October. And then it got to November and it just was too much to overcome against Michigan State and Maryland. And then, you know, Wisconsin was a little bit of a different story because they didn't turn the ball over until the overtime period. But that's what I'll look back on. Those 2 games, I'll say, man, that really could have taken the program and how people feel about it in a different direction. If Nebraska woke up on this past Saturday morning, and they were 7-3, which they could they have not been, Josh? Could they have beat Michigan State and Maryland?
I would think so.
Right. If they just didn't kind of screw it up.
More possible.
Right. That would have felt a lot different going to play football against Wisconsin. So and for the future Chuba part, I am interested at the very least. He's got another test on Friday. I am certainly interested in what that looks like going forward, how they view the room, who they keep around, who doesn't stick around just by natural sort of attrition of the roster. I'm just talking about in the quarterback room. And what do they decide they need for next year? But maybe if there's one big picture thing to take away from what has happened with Chuba, or what did happen with Chuba, and I think what will happen with Chuba on Friday, is that it's a pretty obvious one, but it's confirmed. Nebraska needs a quarterback who can make the simple plays. When Nebraska had a 14-0 lead against Wisconsin, they were doing simple stuff really well. And Chuba was making great. Chuba had the 55-yard run. Obviously, you can't depend on that every game. But they were just doing simple really well. Make the throws, get the screen game going if you have to, get people spread out a little bit, and then bang, you pop one up the middle. Like, it's simple. It's not hectic. You're not in danger of turning the ball over all the time. But get a quarterback who can make those throws, and that's what they're going to be looking for in the offseason. You have to find it. Is it that hard? I don't know. Chubb has been on your roster toiling away for the last 2 years, you know? So maybe it can be him. I'm open to that idea. They're going to go to the portal and find something, but I'm open to the idea in the offseason. I hope they go into the portal and find something else. We go to the phones. 42 Degrees Source Hotline. It is Doug. Hi, Doug. What's up?
Hey guys. Hey, just two comments. One is, I know we all are questioning, why, the Coach Rule didn't see potential before, and of course there were the injury things, etc. But again, Rule and his staff really never saw any of the coaches in person or play any games other than film. And some of that was very, very limited as well. And I know they went on with Sims. So, I don't think you can, hold the coaches' feet to the fire and say, well, why didn't you pick this guy earlier? There's a ton of reasons why not. And then secondly, interestingly, Chuba has an opportunity here. He can, make his case why he should be a strong consideration going forward. If on Friday, I'm sorry. This is his opportunity. He's going to come out knowing he can, be a strong consideration and maybe put some of it. I'm not saying they won't draft or bring in a quarterback, but he could be 1A, in spring camp for sure if he does well.
I think so. He could have a leg up in that situation. And thanks for the call. So I'm glad Doug mentioned Sims because it does always go back to him, right? And I've heard people talk about this throughout the season, but it's obvious. I don't know if they missed the mark, but or if they thought they could do more with him than they ended up being able to do. Obviously, the injury plays into Sims as well, but it starts there and sort of trickles down and what this has become this year. But I would be shocked if Nebraska went portal quarterback hunting this offseason in a week and they came up with a guy who is shown the ability to run and run only or run first, whatever that might be. I think they probably thought, and we were trying to explain it to you guys, in their wildest dreams, Nebraska takes Sims and they turn him into a guy who uses the run game as an accent piece and then is able to really make the throws and the easy throws. That's not what he's shown in his college career. That's not what he had shown prior to that. And you could see it, what they did in the Minnesota game, the very first game of the year, and Sims's first game was they were just running him, right? So I wonder how much a part of the plan that was, and I wonder how much of that was just evaluation of his skill set and what he had been doing throughout full camp. But there's just a lot that we think we know, but we're not exactly sure about how they view the quarterback room and how it relates to the rest of what you have on the roster. Because the rest of what you have on the roster informs that decision on what you're going to do at quarterback. So I'm intrigued. And like Doug said, Chubb has definitely thrown his name in the hat. I'm open to the idea. He can go out and play well on Friday.
Can you convince a portal guy, hey, it's going to be a competition?
Yeah, because I don't think they're going into the area of the portal where I don't think they're going $1 million quarterback hunting.
Okay.
You know that show $1 Million House Hunters?
I do.
What is that a show?
Something. It sounds like a show if it's not.
Okay, hold on. $1 Million House Hunters. House Hunters, $1 Million Homes.
Oh, okay.
Nebraska will not go on that show. The quarterback version of that show.
Sounds like a great bit.
At least I don't think so. Unless there's a connection with somebody who pops in and it makes sense, right? But I don't think that's the area of the portal that Nebraska's going for. So I know we're going to play this game over the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to look at the message board or a tweet, and every time somebody goes into the portal, they're going to say, a starting Power 5 quarterback goes into the portal.
Nebraska.
They're going to say, well, hey, now watch out. Once again, you never know with the connection, but I don't think that's Nebraska's neighborhood this offseason.
Mike Gundy, we're coming for you, man.
I think there's perfectly capable quarterbacks that they could get at the Group of 5 level, maybe even at the FCS level. or backups at Power Fives. I think that's their neighborhood, which is a strong, middle-class, working American neighborhood, Josh.
Blue collar.
And so you could bring that person in and tell them, hey, it's you and this guy. His name's Chubba. He's Brock Purdy's little brother. You guys are fighting each other. And by the way, the new portal quarterback is probably on the younger side as well. Right?
Sure.
See a first to second year guy, he's got 3 years left or something like that. I think Chubba has as many as 3 years left, by the way, as well. So there's still a lot to sort out. But I don't think Nebraska's going $1 million quarterback hunting until proven otherwise. And then you sort of go from there. But I guess there's just a little bit more clarity on his situation, Chubba's situation, and then sort of his place in the offseason. I think we can all agree. That's a better picture. That's a better picture than it has been over the last 10 weeks. That's for sure. Quick break. Allan Bell will join us at 11:30. We'll come back. Your thoughts and a couple more next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Sure, you could go elsewhere for your health and wellness products, or better yet, why not just come to 42 Degrees? Those other places don't even come close to the wide variety and premium disposable e-juice, CBD, Delta, Kratom, glass pipes, vaporizers, and other great products. With the friendliest, most knowledgeable, and professional staff who will find the right products just for you. If you're looking for a one-stop shopping experience, look no further. 42 Degrees. By your mom's house.
Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Hey everybody, it's Michael Severe for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson, right next to Taste of New Orleans, and in the Old Market as well. One of the great things about Ted and Wally's, being that they open more than 35 years, is they have great nostalgia, not just for the ice cream, but for things to buy for the holidays as well. You want to grab something that someone will love? Get yourself a gift card from Ted and Wally's or from Taste of New Orleans. People will love you for it. You put it in a card, and it's the perfect gift. Get ready for Thanksgiving today with some to-go orders from Ted and Wally's, both locations, Benson and Old Market, and tell them Severe sent you.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel, they make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready to go to work. It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
When you switch to Boost Mobile, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G and a pretty powerful way to get after it.
Like me, Tusi, a man who fell in love with music and fell on hard times. From writing songs in my room to sitting on top of the charts. All because I made poetry out of pain and always knew I'd be on the stage singing your favorite song.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone on America's largest 5G networks.
Boost Mobile. Get after it.
New customers only. Taxes extra. 1 device per line. 5G not available everywhere. Other restrictions apply.
All right, a couple things here, and then I want to get to Tony White, which there is some news there. Calm down. Bob emails in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Bob.
Chubba did look like the best quarterback so far this season. That being said, Nebraska was up 14-0 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. They ended the remaining 51 minutes in an overtime possession with 3 points. Didn't exactly put up points after that. Go get a quarterback for the Sun Belt or Conference USA. And then he mentions Diego Pavia from New Mexico State.
Yeah.
On another note, how about Nemhard yesterday? Got to feel good to watch him shoot a different team out of the game instead of doing it at Creighton. Big time example of addition by subtraction. Thanks, Bob.
Whoa.
They did lose to Texas last night. Gonzaga did.
And Diego was peeing on stuff earlier this season. I don't know if that's.
You're gonna be careful with that guy.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch out for the guy who's peeing on stuff.
He was in the odd news for peeing where he wasn't supposed to.
That is a fact. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Chubba is. we got a YouTube comment that was like, and so Happer goes from don't want to make a hot take about Chubba to saying he's better than Patrick Mahomes, which I did not do at all. I wanted to make that very clear.
Just disrespect running wild today on the show.
No, it's not like Chubba is but like the thing that Chubba gave you through one game is that he didn't turn the ball over except in a horrible situation in overtime. There was a no-win on 4th down.
Yeah, that was
So we're willing to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
And the other turnover that we talked extensively about at the end of the Maryland game, I can't tell if that was a horrible throw or a horrible position to be put in. I lean toward the latter.
What about a horrible?
Maybe a horrible everything. Who knows?
One of those guys ran a bad route.
Yeah, right. So I'm not like he's not the cleanest guy of all time. There's obviously parts that you could pick at his game, but no, he's not like the savior of the program. But that's what Nebraska needs. They just need simple.
Oh, you just need a savior.
They just need to say no. That's what they need to get away from. They don't need to do any more of that stuff. Like they don't need to bring in the quarterback and be like, yeah, we're gonna put on everything on this guy's shoulders and everybody route. It'd be great to have that, but you build that over time. You know what? The way, and Rule talked about this yesterday in his I like recruiting and I like the portal answer. I don't want to play that quite yet, but he's the way he talked about building a team sounded a lot to me like Creighton's basketball coach.
Oh,
we want to develop. We want to build the base and the central focus of our program with the foundation of high school football players and in Mac's case, obviously high school basketball players. And they're going to be here for 2 years. And then in the 3rd year, they're going to burst onto the scene, or they're going to learn trial by fire if they have to, depending on what our roster looks like. And then in the 3rd year, they're all Americans like Trey Alexander has turned into, right? Creighton has an outstanding track record of developing big men. I always think of Jeff Grosel. Do you remember Jeff Grosel? Jeff Grosel didn't play for like 4 years. And then in his 5th year, he was a very, very serviceable, if not more than that, big, albeit in the Missouri Valley Conference, but very serviceable. Or maybe he was crossover with the Big East or in whatever. He ended up being a good player. That's development. It takes time, right? So they're going to build their program there with the base. And if they need to grab somebody in the transfer portal, it's not building around somebody in the transfer portal. It's inserting them into a situation that gives Nebraska a little bit more of an edge at one spot. That's it. Hello, Stephen Ashworth, right? Hello, Francisco Farabello, right? That's how they. So I thought of that yesterday. I heard him talking about it. I thought, wow, that sounds familiar. I wonder where I've heard that before. Allan Bell will join us here in just a couple minutes, but we may have an opportunity to get back to that part of it later in the recruiting and the transfer portal piece. But since it comes up, Tony White's talking today, and he was asked about Coach Rule's comments about him yesterday when he said, I guess we could just play it, Josh.
We can, yeah, absolutely.
Matt Rule, what's your advice to Tony White as he is going to be a hot candidate in the next couple weeks?
Go get a job. I told Tony. I mean, search firm called me, asked for Tony's number. I said, yes, you should hire Tony White. Tony White should be a head coach. He's excellent. I told Tony, don't take the wrong one. Don't take the wrong job now. Don't take a job with no resources. Don't take a job with no support. Don't take a job without a great recruiting base. Don't take a job. Hear me now when I say this. This is deep. Where the expectations outweigh the commitment. I If I want to
It's
be
not
in
that
great
deep.
shape and I work out one day a week, okay, you want to be a 10-win team and you're spending at the middle of your conference, okay, the expectation. So I do that with all my guys because it's like the players. I mean, I want them to want to be here, and I also want them to advance. I don't want guys who only want to be here, and I've brought guys back, like when I see like Elijah Robinson at A&M, I get proud. Evan Cooper's been with me, but he left and went to Miami and came back and worked for me again. So, in season, I mean, we have so much time. You know what I'm saying? We have so much time. Our coaches are here at night. They're here. We have guys that show up at 4 a.m, not me. We have guys at night. Our guys are professional. They would never, ever put anything but the players first. But yeah, anybody that's called me about Tony as a head coach, I've said, yeah, give him a shot. And I tell Tony, you pick the right job. Don't pick the wrong job, because we're going to be good on defense here for a while. The stark reality, and maybe people like it, maybe they don't, is everywhere I've been, we've had a good defense. And everywhere I've been, we've had kind of a middle of the pack offense. We're not quite middle of the pack yet on offense. I'd like to get to be more dynamic. I've never had athletes like this. Wait till Malachi and Jaden and Quentin and all these guys grow up. I think we're going to be pretty darn good. But we're going to be really good on defense for a while if Tony decides to stay. If he gets a head coaching job and he wants to take it, I'm going to hug him, love him, wish him the best, and then we'll continue to play good defense.
I love that. And I want to unpack that too, because I don't know that people hear that and they're like, yeah, I accept this. I think Nebraska fans want to be good at offense. They'll always complain about I think that you want the head coach to say, yeah, we have the goal to be really, really good at offense, just as we do to be really, really good at defense. I think that's how Nebraska fans have always approached football, right? And this is more of the Iowa method. Might win some games, but there's going to be some shortcomings that we're always going to have to complain about. So we can unpack that part of it too. But back to the Tony White piece. He said, go take a job. And then he said, but take the right one. Well, some reporting in the San Diego Union Tribune this morning.
Don't do it.
From Kirk Kenny.
2 first names.
Tony White has been contacted by San Diego State. That's the only thing so far. But doesn't it feel like, and didn't it feel like from Rule's comments yesterday? Because we'd been making sort of a joke about it the entire season, like, oh, you got to protect Tony White, you got to pay Tony White, he's going to be up for all these jobs. Rule's stance, kind of, that he took yesterday, really, really led me down the path of, oh, he's gone. I don't want to say that definitively, because obviously I don't know that, but Rule sounded like a guy yesterday who, yes, had talked to search firms, understood that Tony White was taking all these calls, and Tony White was reciprocating some interest back in some head coaching jobs, including this one that he's been now, reportedly contacted for at San Diego State. In fact, they quoted Rule and what he just said that you heard on the show here, in the story, in the write-up here in the San Diego Union Tribune. San Diego, so they wrote the quotes, they published the quotes, and then the writer writes, SDSU Athletic Director John David Wicker spoke about the Aztecs opening on November 14th, the day after it was announced that Brady Hoke would not be returning. Wicker called it a very desirable job within college football. If you look at the Group of 5 level, we're right at the top. You could certainly look at the lower half of certain Power 5 conferences and say San Diego State's going to be a better job than that one, because I've got a chance to win. I can go there and I can win conference championships. I can access the college football playoff. They've got a fantastic new stadium. Facilities are good enough. He said, obviously, we'd like to do more with our facilities on campus, but we'll see how that plays out. By the way, Tony White makes $1 million. San Diego State, the top paid head coach in the Mountain West, makes 2.3, and that's Craig Bowl and Britt Brennan at San Jose State. So it'd be double. It'd be a head coaching job, and it'd be back out west, where he played at UCLA.
Coached there for quite some time.
And a $2.5 million assistant salary pool already ranks higher in highest in the Mountain West.
So that leads to Matt Rule's, they better spend money. Don't.
Yep.
Which
Yep.
actually diverts me away from the other job that is going to become available that has a Tony White connection, UCLA.
Yeah, it's not time for that yet.
It's not time for that, and they're not spending any money on anything over there. You don't
Well, I mean, that would be if you're making the case that UCLA is not going to spend any money on a head coach, then Tony White would actually be the guy for it.
Well, yeah, but
because he's a defensive coordinator,
not to take that job,
right? Yeah, okay, good point. Yeah,
don't take if they're not spending on resources.
I don't know.
Don't go there.
Just the way he talked about it yesterday, it felt like it was maybe a little further down the line than I thought it was.
It felt like one of those. Hey kids, how would you feel if mom and dad didn't live together anymore?
Just want to take the temperature.
Would that break your hearts? Okay. We'll talk in a couple weeks.
It'll be a lot cooler. You could go visit mom and visit dad.
We'll fight for your love.
You can have 2 Xboxes.
Yeah.
It did. That's a great comparison, Josh. It did feel a little bit like that. So I don't know. I'm definitely prepared for that within about 2 weeks' time here.
Yeah. And good for him. Good for him.
But sad.
Sad for us. Good for him.
He's the only defensive coordinator that Nebraska fans have ever loved.
Is it sad for us, though? I've heard Matt Rule is always good at defense.
Yeah, I mean,
no matter what.
That's really reassuring. But he's the only guy we've ever loved. We finally pour our hearts into one defensive coordinator for the first time since Charlie McBride or Bo Pelini. And he leaves us after 1 year?
We're just a fling to you, Tony? Just a stop on your way out back west.
So, like, I'll be dad here. Son, prepare yourself
for 2 Christmases.
Allan Bell's up next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The job of a good sideline reporter, in my opinion, is to relay information about injuries or maybe some sideline stuff that is happening with a team. Okay, let's go down to Melissa Stark. Melissa, what are you seeing down there? She'll tell a story about, these guys were getting into it. It's like, okay, that's interesting. It's just a little extra background, a little extra color.
It's having some eyes down on the field.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Windy and chilly for your Tuesday. Expect north to northwest winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour in the morning, still gusting up to 30 miles per hour in the afternoon. Expect a lot more sunshine, though. Highs topping out in the low 40s with feels like temperatures in the 30s most of the day. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer, to find the perfect vehicle for wherever your plans take you. Shop SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Looking for a unique gift for your friends and family? Any size gift card will fit every homeowner or gardener on your list. We're your one-stop shop and homegrown headquarters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lenaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Sue for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson, of course, and in the old market as well. Listen, Thanksgiving is around the corner. You know this already. You're preparing. You're getting your turkey ready, all your sides. But dessert, that's the most important part. So make the call now for some to-go size orders from Ted and Wally's. Whether it's a pint, a quart, or half gallons, you'll be ready for your party, your Thanksgiving as well. Great flavors, over 3,000 of them, over 35 years in business providing you wonderful ice cream. Head over to Ted and Wally's now and tell them Severe sent you.
Do you hear what we hear? Omaha Steaks has tons of jobs and hours. Right now, we're hiring for a variety of seasonal positions in our warehouses. Make this holiday extra jolly with a great employee discount on gourmet foods you can use all year long. To view available job openings and to apply online, go to omahasteaks.com/jobs or text steaks to 22633 to apply today. 'Tis the season to make some holiday cash at Omaha Steaks.
72 Table and Tap hits the spot for creative food, craft beer, and bourbon, as in really good bourbon. 72 Table and Tap is just south of Ralston Arena, so stop in before or after the concert or game. Try one of the 20 beers on tap, any one of the 150 whiskeys, or indulge in some smoked wings or a goldfish breaded pork tenderloin. They also serve salads, tasty bar food, flatbreads, pizzas, sandwiches, and desserts. There's a reason customers keep coming back. 72 Table and Tap. Eat, drink, gather, repeat.
Now open Sundays till 9.
Hey, it's Connor Happer. Join Gary Sharp and I for the Class A state championship game tonight on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Great Plains Home Exterior. Tonight, it's the 1-seeded, undefeated Omaha Westside Warriors against the 3-seeded Class A Elkhorn South. Coverage of the high school football state championship games on 1620 The Zone is brought to you by Great Plains Home Exteriors. The Class A state championship game tonight, broadcast starts at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:15, right here on 1620 The Zone.
This Thanksgiving, while you're dreaming about the turkey, the dressing, the gravy, you can be dreaming about winning a no-sweat same-game parlay this Thanksgiving. John and Josh here with the FanDuel Sportsbook, and you can place a 3-leg same-game parlay on any of the NFL action on Turkey Day, and you can get bonus bets back if you don't win. Same-game parlays allow you to parlay props within the same game. So visit FanDuel.com/1620 and put some gravy on it today.
John, how about this recommendation? CeeDee Lamb's been playing so well lately. Maybe an anytime touchdown, the over on the receiving yards, and a Dallas Cowboys victory. Go to FanDuel.com/1620 and don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay for this Thanksgiving and enjoy the Cowboys winning. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell. Sportsline. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, so I know the Thanksgiving content can get a little overwhelming. Pick your plate. Build your perfect plate for $15. Build your perfect plate for $20. Which one of these Thanksgiving foods would you throw in the trash can?
One gotta go.
So I dislike the amount of that content that there is. But there is one person who I'm genuinely curious about their opinion on what's on their plate on Thursday, and that is our guest, Allan Bell, who joins us on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hello, Allan.
Hello. Hey, and let me say, first off, appreciate you having me back. Second, every time I hear that intro, I feel like I'm Shane McMahon. I just bought WCW.
It's awesome.
We're fired up. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to get like a video component. Like you send us a video of you just like breaking some glass and busting out of a room somewhere. Like, yeah, we can get that going. You rip your shirt off. Mm-hmm. Could be good.
It would. And let me say this. I can tell that it's the holiday season because Tennessee Volunteers football is falling apart. So there we go. It feels like normal holiday season. We're ready to go.
Yeah, it's amazing how close Tennessee and Nebraska are.
I'm telling you, man. Look, we've talked about it forever. Like Nebraska fans are always welcome in my home. Like I feel you 100%. I get you.
So instead of, and maybe you could give us this too, but instead of asking you about like what's on your Thanksgiving plate, do you have any like Thanksgiving food takes that seem a little maybe spicy for this time of the year? Because I always see people having, hating on turkey around this time of year, which I don't get. It's Thanksgiving. You eat the turkey. I'm absolutely fine with it. Like, what is your hottest Thanksgiving take?
Yeah. So I'll say this, man. Like, I'm with you. Like, it's turkey. Like, it's what we do, right? If you like turkey, you don't like turkey, whatever. Like, what I dislike more is the ham. Like, I'm
who needs the ham?
Like, I'm good on it, man. Like, I'll tell you what my favorite thing is. I like kind of the feel of like there's the turkey and the stuffing and all the normal, but like when somebody throws in like something different that's just completely off the wall, you know what I mean? Like, we've got all this, and then hey, we went and got some sushi. You know what I mean? Like just something completely random is kind of nice, man. I like it.
I appreciate that too. Invite the wild card aunt and uncle to the party. It's like, yeah, we didn't really make anything, but we stopped at the store and bought like a 20-pack of sushi. We'll put that out there.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I'm down with that. Give me a couple little mini tires here of sushi. I'm in.
How do you do with the cranberry sauce?
I love it. I get that it could be a controversial take, you know, and I don't want to get us kicked off the air. The FCC is listening, but yeah, you cannot give me enough cranberry sauce. I love it.
Yeah, I'm out. Maybe I haven't.
Yeah, most people are.
Maybe
Yeah,
I haven't. Maybe I haven't just matured enough to get to that point in my life.
No, you're the norm. You're definitely the norm. Like I'm the wild card in this one, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so good.
One more. Okay.
And even the cheap stuff, you give me the stuff out of a can. I don't care. It's good.
So this is often a pretty polarizing thing too. When all your food is piled up on your Thanksgiving plate, is it all touching? Is it all like separated? Do you like to have the compartmental tray? Like, how do you feel about the stuff all mixing together?
No, it turns into a KFC sadness bowl pretty quickly. It does.
Those are awesome, by the way. I love those.
Yeah, I do too. They're great. They're fantastic, dude. Like, I'm down with the food touching. Because look, man, I'm a big bread guy anyway. So like, we're gonna get multiple items. Like when you kind of basically use the bread as like a glove, to grab food. Yeah,
I love that. It's so gross, but it's so good.
It is. Like, I see why other countries hate us. Like, I get it.
Yeah, there you are using bread as gloves, and then an hour later you're on the couch napping and snoring in front of everyone, and you're also drunk at the same time.
Absolutely. And my dad's screaming about the Cowboys. Like, I mean, that's Thanksgiving right there.
Yeah, that's about as American as it gets. It's a pretty decent Thanksgiving lineup. I mean, Packers, Lions. We're always the Lions is actually a treat this Thanksgiving Day because they're good. We got the Cowboys and they play the football team, and then 49ers and Seahawks is the nightcap.
Yeah, it is. And look, I'm very much ready for people's takes on the name change of the Commanders and kind of how Thanksgiving started. Like, there's going to be one political guy, that's going to like go off on it. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, it's a great lineup, dude. And the fact that we get like the 49ers, in the night game, dude, it's going to be great, man. Like, I'm excited to do this again.
So later on in the show, we're going to debut a game, and this may be the only week we get to play it. We'll see how long it lasts. But just looking at we've talked nonstop about like the AFC and sort of pecking order. And last week we talked about how the Chiefs were sitting at home and they were just loving everything that they were seeing. And that was before Joe Burrow got hurt on Thursday night and Mark Andrews got hurt on Thursday night, but he looks to be coming back. So we're going to play a game today, and it's called, Are the Denver Broncos Better Than Blank?
I love this game. All right.
And like, it's basically how many teams in the AFC would you take over the Denver Broncos right now, which is a question that I never thought I would ask myself, or maybe I would ask myself rhetorically. But obviously you got to set Kansas City and Baltimore aside. Everybody else, I think, is right there in that same pot with them right now. It's wild.
Yeah, like there's really not many AFC teams that I would put as like clearly just better. I mean, you're right. Like, take the Chiefs, take the Ravens, set them aside. They are not in this conversation. I mean, the Broncos could win the AFC South, right? Better than the Jaguars, better than the Titans, better than the Texans would be an interesting game.
Yeah,
because,
I agree.
They could throw all over the board. But I mean, you look at it there. You look at the AFC North. Take the Ravens out. The Bengals, they're better than the Bengals now without Burrow. They're better than the Steelers, you know what I mean? But somehow the Steelers like keep winning. I know that they did last week, but yeah, man, like they're pretty good. Like the AFC East is like, what do we do with that, right? Like I have no idea what to do with the Bills, except all I can believe is what we keep seeing. And yeah, they beat up on the Jets, but there's something wrong with Buffalo.
Yes.
And Miami, I can't trust them.
Well, the Dolphins might win that division without beating a team with a winning record the entire year.
Yeah, which is nuts. And it's like, I don't know what to do with them because I get what they did to the Broncos earlier this year, but I could also see that the Broncos like show up later, you know, like if it were like some weird like wild card playoff game or whatever, and the Broncos win, you know, like I just, it's tough to trust Miami, man.
It's so odd because at this, you know, like they're playing, Denver is playing better than, you know, most teams in the AFC right now, but like the Russell Wilson thing is still there. You don't love their offense. You don't trust their offense, but they're winning, and that has to count for something. Like where are you at with just Russ right now and what he's done to sort of improve his kind of image over the last month now?
Look, man, there's nothing negative I can say about the guy. Like, I get that the Broncos haven't been on national television, so you know, like America as a whole probably hasn't watched week after week after week of the Broncos. But Russell Wilson's having a great year. Like, this dude is having a good, solid NFL season, man. Sean Payton's made a difference. The defense is getting better by the week. Yeah, man, like, it's hard for me to say much negative. Like, the Broncos right now, compared to last year, are another planet. You know what I mean? Like, their offense is so much better. They still have areas, you know, to get better. But, dude, Russ is having a great year, man. Look at his numbers. They're incredible.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's stay in that division and sort of local with us with the Chiefs who lost last night. Notably because they made a lot of mistakes. They don't have any wide receivers. Travis Kelce fumbled. Like, this has been a thing that's kind of popped up now, and you could see it if you watch them. They don't have any good wide receivers. Like, is that their big over this run of the Chiefs? This has to be their biggest like hole that they've had. I guess the first team that they had, you know, was a lot less good on defense than they are right now.
Yeah,
but their wide receivers right now, like, it's a problem.
Oh, it's a huge problem, right? I mean, dude, Scantling last night. I mean, what are you doing?
Dude.
You know what I mean? And then, you know, the other tight end, missing his name at the moment. What was it? Justin Watson?
Yeah.
Right? Like, dude, that 4th and 25, like, Mahomes threw a missile on target.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, my God, man. Like, if they completed that, I was watching the Manning cast of it, and right after it, Peyton goes, if that dude catches that ball, the Eagles are dead, right? Like, and he was right, man. Like, it's just tough, dude, because Mahomes is playing his butt off. The run game last night was much better than I thought that it would be. The Eagles have the best run defense in the NFL by far. They're only giving up 66 rushing yards per game, right? And the Chiefs were very balanced. It was a great play calling game. The problem, though, is this, and this problem has been here for a while, that the Chiefs stopped scoring in the second half, man, and they've done this for a while. Like, when they have talent everywhere, when they don't, it's almost like they just kind of go into neutral. You know what I mean? And you just can't do it, man. Like, that's the tough part. But yeah, I mean, talent-wise, like offensively, Mahomes ain't got a lot to work with. The defense, Spags, man,
right,
done an incredible job.
Well, it's kind of boring, but I think the trend this year, and especially when you look at the top teams and the Super Bowl contenders that are out there, I think it's fair to say nobody has a juggernaut offense, right? That's what's won in the last few years. Like, what's your quarterback doing, and how explosive are they on offense? Can we say like the Super Bowl basically will be won this year by the best defense?
But you know what? We talked about this the last 2 weeks on this show. Look at the difference when teams are playing at home and teams are playing on the road. And I understand that Kansas City was at home last night, but it's a much wider gap than what it normally is. Home field advantage in the playoffs this year is going to mean everything, because these teams, I don't know what it is. I have no idea, but it is just different for teams that are, you know, on the road. I mean, what did the Eagles score last night? 21?
Yeah.
You know, like, any team in the NFL, if you hold the Eagles to 21 points, you're generally pretty happy, right? Like, yeah, man, it's just scoring is different, man, between home and the road. It's wild.
Yeah, and then we're getting into the season. There's going to be some weather games too. Like, I think it's going to keep getting uglier.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad that you just said that, because I was thinking about this in college football, and I said it when Tennessee was playing Georgia this past weekend in Knoxville, that Tennessee, like, and I mean this pretty much for, most teams, like, Tennessee's not going to play a cold game all year long. Like, and you're seeing it in the NFL, like, we're just now starting to get kind of bad weather games. But for the most part, I mean, it's almost December, and I'm not making this some global warming take. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want that to be put up there. But, yeah, man, like, we haven't really even seen that yet, and it's going to happen. So, what we talk about between playing at home and playing on the road and the elements and all that, like, it's going to make a difference. Like, playing in Kansas City in January or Buffalo or Miami, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to make a difference, man, for sure.
All right, Allan, we'll let you go. Thank you for your non-global warming takes. We appreciate that. And enjoy your nap on Thursday.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, boys. Talk to you all next week.
Allan Bell of Sportsline. He will enjoy his Thanksgiving, really just like me, I think. Just eat way too much food, have it all mixed together, and basically at the end of it, just take the fork and just and then hop on that couch and don't watch the Lions.
Sounds like you try and watch the Lions, but you just don't end up making it through.
Right.
Normally.
Or the Cowboys. Yeah, you definitely don't make it to the start of the Cowboys game. That's for sure. We'll come back. Josh will bring you the odd news. Can't wait. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer. 'Tis the season at Glasshouse Market within Canoyer Garden Center. We'd like to be a part of your family's holiday tradition. Whether you're looking for a gift for that special someone or a wreath for your front door, we'd like to invite you to come shop our stunning holiday market full of Christmas decor, novelty items, and fresh greens. Shop Glasshouse Market, located within Canoyer Garden Center on 66th Street between Cornhusker and Highway 370 in Papillion. Open daily 10 to 6.
At Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb. Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-659-8080. That's 1-800-659-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction. Presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Sennett Contracting, Tinman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
Our Cox mobile plans are like a band. The more people you add, the better it sounds. So, add more lines to save more. Pay as low as $30 per line when you add 4 or more gig unlimited lines. It's easy. I like the sound of that. Visit cox.com/mobile. 4 lines required for $30 per line. Price max of 5 lines. Prices exclude taxes, device activation, and other fees and charges, which are subject to change. Cox postpaid internet required. Other restrictions apply.
Hey everyone. Josh Peterson here with Dr. Lance Kugler of Kugler Vision. You know, it's been 5.5 years since I had my procedure done at Kugler Vision. I remember going in for the eye analysis and finding out, hey, there's something other than LASIK. That seems to be such a misnomer with so many people, but that's not always the case because there are actually 7 forms of modern vision correction.
Sure, yeah, and obviously LASIK is a huge part of what we do, but as technology improves over the years, over the decades, we continue to add different technologies that become better options for people depending on what they need.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found absolutely incredible was the eye analysis process. You want to know as much about anyone's eyes as you can because that's how you figure out which of those procedures are going to qualify for.
Yeah, our eye analysis process is the most thorough evaluation of your eye that you can possibly have. We all have the same goal. We want you to see as well as you possibly can.
Schedule an eye analysis today. You can visit their website, kuglervision.com.
Duck Defense Midwest makes your home healthier and improves the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com for a special duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. That's cleanairradio.com.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
More Big Ten West football going on at Memorial Stadium early in the week. Last night we had Scott and Bennington. Bennington ended up winning 21-0 in the Class B championship. You heard it here on 1620 The Zone. In the Class C1 championship right now, it's Boone Central leading Wahoo 6-0 with about 9 minutes to go in the game.
In the game?
In the whole game. Wow. And Wahoo just got a turnover at about midfield, so they might have a chance to pull off a 9-minute, 50-yard drive to take the lead.
Well,
they would have to make the extra point in order to do that. But I said it last night. I'll say it again here. It's a pretty good preview of what you're going to see on that very same field on Friday.
It's coming.
Tonight in the Class A championship game, which we'll talk about with Mike Sautter later, that will not be one team will try and make it Big Ten West football. The other team will definitively not.
Interesting.
And then we'll see who's able to play their style of football. Josh.
Connor.
Odd news.
Odd news. We begin in whatever the hell they call the place where the Lakers play now.
Oh, crypto.
Is it still crypto.com arena?
Well,
that didn't fold.
I guess that's a good question.
I guess no, it's the Heat, the one with the Heat that folded.
Crypto.com arena.
Okay. A Lakers fan not only lost out on $55,000 during a shooting contest during Sunday's game, he also seriously injured his leg in the process.
Oh, I saw this. I thought it was a bit.
Oh, was it? Oh no.
But no, it's very possible that it wasn't. He was limping, and he really sold it.
The wild scene happened during a break in the action at Crypto.com Arena when Lakers officials set up a game where a fan named Anthony could have scored a ton of cash if he hit a half-court shot. Anthony initially seemed super confident, telling an in-arena host, probably a Connor Happer-esque type, "This is what I do." Now that's a Connor Happer-esque line.
It sure is.
A short time later, everyone in the building quickly learned this is, in fact, not what Anthony does. Anthony releases the ball. He somehow hurt his left leg where he crumpled to the floor. The in-arena host attempted to get him to come back to make another attempt at earning money, but the contestant was in too much pain to continue.
He said no, he couldn't do it. It was a non-contact injury, too.
Yeah, those are the worst, right?
Yeah. Damn turf. Got him again.
Got to switch to grass at Crypto.com Arena.
I just really hope. This is all we could ever hope in life. Like, if that opportunity ever knocks on my door and I ever get the chance to shoot a half-court shot at a basketball game or to throw out a first pitch at a baseball game or to hit the opening tee shot at the Masters, or like whatever it is. That would, by the way, never happen. But any of those things, all any of us could hope is, yes, that we make the shot, but more importantly, that we do not get seriously injured.
Yeah.
That's it. In this case,
I don't want to go viral.
Yeah.
For anything that I do in the field of athletics.
Honestly, I don't even care about the going viral part. I just hope that I'm never at the point in my, like, athletically in my life where I could do something like take a step and tear my ACL. But I realize that, everybody's looking down the barrel of it at some point. You get to that point, and falling is a very serious thing.
Yes.
Scary thought, Josh.
We move to NFL Red Zone for story number 2.
Scott Hansen.
We got to dunk on Scott Hansen.
What? No, why? No, we don't.
He killed Jimmy Carter over the weekend.
No, he didn't. Jimmy Carter's alive.
Well, not according to Scott Hansen. On Sunday, former First Lady Rosalind Carter passed away at age 96. CBS ran a breaking news graphic for that on the bottom part of the screen during its NFL games, but that graphic was covered up on YouTube TV, their version of NFL Red Zone. So Scott Hansen relayed the news of Rosalind Carter's death to viewers, but made one crucial mistake. He referred to her as wife of the late President Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
But Carter himself is still alive at age 99.
He's had cancer for like a decade.
He has been in hospice for literally
almost a year, right?
I'm not making a joke. Yes, literally almost a year.
Yep.
He said during the broadcast, our crawl at the bottom of the screen was covering up the CBS News special report. I'll just pass along to you that Rosalind Carter, the wife of the late President Jimmy Carter, has died. Shortly afterwards, Hansen corrected himself. Quote, by the way, when I just shared the Rosalind Carter information, I believe I accidentally said the late Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, still alive. Rosalind Carter has passed away.
Tough gig, Scott Hansen.
Well, you're talking for, what is it, 8 hours?
Yeah, not
nonstop?
going pee the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a tough gig.
You don't have time to gather the facts because you're just talking. Free stream of consciousness.
But it's funny because we do this all the time too. Like, is this person alive or dead? In fact, we did that during the crossover. Donald Sterling.
Yes.
How's Donald Sterling still alive? I
thought
have
he was
no idea.
dead.
Thought he was dead for sure. But Jimmy Carter, I actually think about Jimmy Carter a lot.
Famously alive.
I think about famously alive, not alive and famous, but famously alive. Famous because he is alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the amazing part of Jimmy Carter. So that's tough hang for Scott. Sorry. By the way, Boone Central just had a long touchdown run that I think they just maybe put the nail in the coffin there for Wahoo.
12's going to be a tough road to hoe for Wahoo.
Sure is.
5 minutes.
And
we go to Canada for story number 3 here. As this week we are all gorging ourselves on our favorite foods, and you think, that's going to hit your self-esteem a little bit. This is a story to make you feel good about yourself, but it is also very gross. Riley Mary is a Canadian champion. No, he's not a national sports star, and he didn't come up with a breakthrough medical cure, but he did manage to eat 3.5 pounds of potato salad in the rain at a Halifax cemetery while a huge crowd showed up to watch and cheer him on. Once again, that's 3.5 pounds of potato salad in the rain in a cemetery while spectators were watching.
Why in a cemetery? That's actually the weirdest part. 3 pounds of potato salad in the rain, I could okay, like, whatever. Do what you want to do, but in a cemetery?
Poll question, what's the weirdest part of the story? 3.5 pounds of potato salad, the rain, the cemetery, or the spectators?
Okay.
But Mary set out to do something that no other Canadian had tried to do before, and he deserves to be honored for his commendable potato salad eating efforts. It all seems to have started when Mary put up flyers around town telling folks to come out and try to eat 5 pounds of potato salad this weekend. Half my city, well over 300 people, are coming to see me eat 5 pounds of potato salad on Saturday. This might be the dullest talent I could pursue, but it is a talent. I have an interview with 3 to 4 different news organizations about the ordeal tomorrow. He made in a Facebook post in a group titled The Dull Men's Club. The group appears to be a place that encourages members to do boring, mundane things in their everyday lives. And Saturday night, he drew quite a crowd to the Holy Cross Cemetery as onlookers came to cheer him on. It was no easy feat as the crowd watched him shovel spoonfuls of potato salad in his mouth. He kept going. Now, he did fall short of his goal of 5 pounds, but he did eat 3.5 pounds before putting the spoon to rest.
Can I get a visual representation of 3.5 pounds of potato salad? Like, you know the big tubs from Hy-Vee?
Uh-huh.
How much is that? Is that like a half a pound?
That's one.
Is that a full pound?
The tall one is 1 pound, right?
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. But eating 3.5 of those in the rain in a cemetery with people watching. Oh, yeah, that's tough hang. I would need to keep the other pounds refrigerated.
Okay, you keep running them to me as I need them.
Bring
I don't
them
want
to
this
me.
to get lukewarm.
That's not mundane, Josh.
No.
Not mundane at all.
And honestly, it really doesn't explain the why of it at all.
Nope. I think it was basically guy decided he wanted to eat potato salad and people decided that they wanted to come watch.
Like the guy who we did this story, I believe he hung a sign that said, "I will eat a chicken every day for the next 27 days."
Yeah, how did that work out?
And every day he just kept more and more people came to watch, and he wanted to quit, but he said, "People keep coming out, so I got to keep eating the chicken."
Dudes, man.
Dudes are weird.
Gotta
man.
love dudes. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Breaking news before we take a break. The Aer Lingus Classic in 2027 is set.
2027?
Yes.
Okay. Who does Nebraska play?
They do not.
Okay.
They're not coming back to Ireland.
Good.
That is, yes. Before we get too far down the road, it's not featuring Nebraska.
Is it Navy and Notre Dame again?
No.
Is it UCF and Notre Dame?
No.
Is it Notre Dame at all?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
It is Wisconsin. Josh, let's just pause on that for a second. Can you imagine 15 to 20,000 drunk Wisconsin fans in Ireland for 5 days? Because I can too.
It's very profitable. It's a genius play by the folks at Aer Lingus.
Wisconsin will be taking on Pitt in the 2027 Aer Lingus Classic.
Is this one of those things where, hey, let's put Pitt here and maybe Pat McAfee will show up? Or he went to West Virginia, didn't he?
He did, yeah. The 2024 Aer Lingus Classic will feature Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Which should be the ACC championship game this year.
And then we don't have games scheduled for 2025 or 2026 yet, but we do have Pitt and Wisconsin in 2027. So there you go.
Okay.
There's your update on the Aer Lingus Classic. We will come back. Let's talk about the college football playoff. I know we yelled at you guys last week and we said, you're an idiot if you don't see how this will work itself out. Well, I'm going to present the exact scenario where the college football playoff field does not work itself out. And it's not that far-fetched. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Each home game Friday, Hy-Vee hosts the Big Red Breakfast Buffet on 1620 The Zone. Join the unauthorized Big Red Breakfast Show live from 6 to 10 with Gary Sharp and Nick Hanley, and enjoy breakfast from Hy-Vee Market Grill, featuring all your favorite breakfast food. This buffet is sure to make your day. A one-trip buffet is just $12 or all you can eat for only $15. Buffet includes scrambled eggs, party potatoes, bacon, sausage, biscuits and gravy, and assorted pastries. It's the unauthorized Big Red Breakfast at Hy-Vee home game Fridays on 1620 The Zone.
Hey folks, Kent Pavelka again to tell you about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked, uneven concrete, Everlevel can fix it at a fraction of the cost compared to replacement. This is no Band-Aid. Their products are built to last. It gives your concrete the durable protection it needs, and there's still time. I chose Everlevel for my driveway, and I've got peace of mind with their long-term transferable warranty. Everlevel's products and customer service are top-notch, and that's why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Say it with me. Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
'Tis the season to volunteer. Here at the Salvation Army of Omaha, the bells will start ringing at our iconic red kettles come mid-November. That means we need you to volunteer. Ringing the bells at our kettles is a family fun activity that makes a big difference. All kettle donations stay local, and they fund everything from Salvation Army food and housing programs to behavioral health services and more. So sign up today at registertoring.com. While you're at it, sign up your family, friends, church group, or coworkers too. Go to registertoring.com today.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Experience Omaha's first Indian restaurant and brewery. Jaipur has created delicious Indian food and brews, from the tandoori salmon to the chicken tikka makhani. Jaipur has something for every palate. 2 locations, Rockbrook and Dundee. Come see why Jaipur has been voted first place best of Omaha 18 years in a row.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is Cops. Receive 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Cops makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings. For the basic menu, click copspizza.com. And for the extended menu, visit them at Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and the newly reopened 72nd and Jones locations.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Thank you, Maverick fans. Your Omaha Maverick hockey team is coming off 2 sellouts. And because of you, they are the hottest ticket in town. Omaha Maverick hockey takes on the Augustana Vikings November 24th and NCHC Power St. Cloud on December 8th and 9th at Baxter Arena. Let's pack the Baxter. Get your tickets now by calling the box office at 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tigs.
Welcome back. Tuesday on the Counter Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Don't forget the Class A state championship game is tonight, and it is on 1620 The Zone. It is brought to you by Great Plains Home Exteriors, and it begins at 7 o'clock with me, Gary Sharp, Jimmy Allen down in the field, and West Side and Elkhorn South playing for a state title. Meanwhile, Memorial Stadium right now, Boone Central is going to close out Wahoo here. And unless something absolutely insane happens with 2 minutes left, and bring that trophy back to Albion, the C1 champs will be the 2 seed, Boone Central. 12-0 right now as the clock runs near inside 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. I want to get some college football playoff stuff in a second, but let's head to the phones. Why not? Take a phone call from our friend Tony on the 42 Degrees Source hotline. Hi, Tony.
Hi, guys. Real quick. The morning line for the Iowa-Nebraska game was at -1.5. Nebraska -1.5. It's up to 2 now. So obviously that means they're betting on Nebraska, right?
One could assume. It's up to 2.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook, by the way.
2.5. Okay, so to our friends east of the river, I just want to say something. We have lost 3 straight, have not been to a bowl game in 6 years. We are not in the top 20, unlike you. And yet, you still come into Lincoln the underdog. I called my shot yesterday, and I'm going to call it again, Iowa. Save your money. Stay east of the river, because you're in for, I think, 3 losses in a row this season, starting with your friends that are on the west side of the river. Go Big Red, Iowa. You have a nice day, guys.
Okay. I thought we were building up to something more.
Yeah, I thought there'd be more of a dismount.
I hope Tony Pepperoni calls every single day, Tony Baloney, and he says, hey, by the way, Nebraska's going to beat Iowa. Here's the problem, Tony. You do not get awarded the trophy based on the spread.
You don't.
You
That's
do
what you're
not.
saying.
You
Oh,
do not.
Interesting.
You
Okay.
do not. Iowa is very, very comfortable in this scenario where they're getting 2.5 points, or hell, they're down 7-3 in the fourth quarter, or they're whatever it might be. They're losing 3-2 on their home field on senior day to Illinois. I don't care. So
they got you right where they want you.
I love the hate. I love the fact that it's hate week. I love hate. Sports hate is awesome. But I don't know. I don't want to project. I don't feel confident right now. Nebraska's going to have to find 2 more plays than Iowa. And I don't know where they're coming from. Maybe they could find them. Maybe
That's the fun.
Maybe it's Malachi Coleman Day
Ooh.
or something like that. But I don't have a lot of confidence. But Tony's right. If you go to the FanDuel Sportsbook right now, use /Happer, by the way.
That's right.
You will see that Nebraska is a 2.5-point favorite against the Iowa Hawkeyes on Black Friday, with an over-under checking in at 26.5.
The lowest in human history.
Was it lower than Wahoo Boone Central in the C1 title game?
Oh, well.
That might have been 14, and it's going to come in under. So, will that number fall even more? And by the way, is everyone just taking the under for that? Are we all comfortable?
I feel comfortable taking the under.
What's the highest number?
What's the lowest number I feel comfortable taking the under on?
Yes, that's what I mean. Mm-hmm.
You could paint me the case for 25.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe
I was going to offer you 17.
No, I don't think I would take the under on that.
No?
No.
I think there might be
the
I think there might be less than 2 touchdowns. I don't know.
Under 26.5 is -106. Over is -114.
Yeah, the juice is on the over. Yeah. People are taking the over. But I'm telling you to use the knowledge that you have. You've watched both of these teams play a lot.
I have. I'm a sicko.
Is anybody scoring more than 14 points? And we know it's going to be close.
Okay.
No. The answer is no. Nobody's scoring more than 2 touchdowns in this game. Unless you can find like 6 field goals in there somewhere.
There is a bet that you can place right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yes.
/Happer.
Yes.
Nebraska first drive punt, Iowa first drive punt, +150.
Oh my God.
They're just
go. They're
Get
there now.
Giving money away on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Now, I will say this: if Nebraska is going to score at all, their most likely score to drive to score would be the very first one.
Sure. Now that pays more.
Nebraska team total 13.5. Iowa team total 12.5. Could be fun. That's all I'm saying. Could be fun. A little news in from Nebraska here. And it's good. Ty Robinson's coming back next year for a 6th season. Not a 6th season, a 6th season of college football. Ty Robinson is back. He's put himself on some draft radars this year, at least according to Matt Rule via his play. Ty Robinson is coming back to play at Nebraska next year.
Let's go.
That's a giant development for Nebraska's defensive line.
I hope Steve Sipple writes a story about it.
I think he will. Story to come.
Oh, okay.
As he'll say. NFL reaction, overreaction is coming up in a couple minutes. Okay, so let's take a second because we don't talk about the college football playoff much because it's like it's happening in a separate universe.
It kind of is.
So as I've prefaced a couple of times, we gave you the scenario last week. It's like, you guys are idiots. This is all going to work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
How could you not see this coming? Let me play devil's advocate with you for a second here. So we have 9 college football playoff contenders, 9 teams that could even possibly remotely make the college football playoff. By the way, after this weekend, we'll have less, and after next weekend, we'll have even less. So it will draw itself down at some point. So those teams are Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington, Florida State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, and 1 loss, Louisville.
Louisville.
Those are possible playoff teams at this point. Here's your, and you stop me if you feel like any part of this is unlikely or less likely, and we'll just adjust from there. But let me try and give you the most likely scenario to occur over the next 2 weeks.
Sure.
Georgia wins the SEC.
That seems very likely.
They kick out Alabama. Alabama is done.
Bye-bye.
They are the 1 seed. Well, we don't even have to do seeding.
No.
Ohio State and Michigan play this weekend. The winner, whether it's Ohio State or whether it's Michigan, beats Iowa in the Big Ten championship game, and
I don't even think that's necessary.
They claim a spot in the college football playoff. That's 2. Oregon and Washington will play each other in the Pac-12 championship game.
Probably.
And the winner gets there. This is assuming that Oregon beats Oregon State in the Civil War this weekend, which, did that name get canceled, by the way? I'm still calling it the Civil War.
I believe it did get canceled.
That makes me sad. I really like the idea that it's called the Civil War.
Formerly known as the Civil War.
Why do we keep doing that to rivalry games? What's next? The Apple Cup? Are we going to cancel apples?
Oh, you can't cancel apples. 1929 to 2020.
So, 2020.
There it is.
Of course. When everyone got woke. Oregon Washington winner with the qualifier of Oregon beats Oregon State this weekend.
Correct.
All right. That team is in. We have 3 spots claimed. In that situation, here's what we're left with 3 spots claimed. The 1-loss non-conference champion Ohio State Michigan loser. Let's just pretend for the fun of it, it's Michigan. Right?
I feel like they would be done everything they can do to keep them out. Yes.
Possible 1-loss Washington if Oregon wins the Pac-12 championship game.
Hey, we've beat one of your playoff teams. We should get in.
Possible undefeated but quarterbackless Florida State.
I don't know how much time you want to spend on each of these. I don't see how you can put Florida.
Let me keep going.
Okay.
Or 1-loss Louisville. And probable 1-loss Big 12 champion Texas. Now, if you notice, I named more than 4 teams for those 4 spots.
Yes.
That is a likely and even probable scenario that the selection committee is sitting with on Sunday, December the 3rd.
Nothing you said sounded off the wall in any way.
In that situation, is it obvious who gets the 4th spot? Or is there actually going to be some dissenting parties on the day after conference championship Saturday?
Oh, I think there will be dissension for sure.
Will they be valid? I agree with you. I agree with you on ACC. ACC, I mean,
Louisville, you're not getting in. You cannot put Florida State in the playoff, even if they go undefeated.
Okay, but Josh,
no, you can't. I'm sorry. Your quarterback got injured.
This is not a projection.
I know they're not supposed to project, but I'm
this
projecting.
Is what you've done. This is resume. It would be unprecedented, obviously, to leave out an undefeated Power 5 conference champion. If that's a risk you're willing to take, if that's some heat that you're willing to absorb, then God bless you. But I would not advise it.
The Noles need to pour it on Florida and Louisville the next 2 games and show everyone, look, we can still do the same things with a different quarterback.
Undefeated Power 5 conference champion. Now, they can make it easier for everybody and just lose to Louisville in the conference title game, and then they're not putting Louisville in because they're just not.
Right. Would go a long way in helping everyone out, Florida State.
They could. That could happen. And then you still have 1-loss Texas.
That's the team I think sneaks in.
Who beat Alabama.
They beat Alabama.
Lost Oklahoma.
Lost a rivalry game and a neutral.
But will avenge that loss in the conference title game if they would like to put their name in the hat. just as Oregon would do to overcome Washington in the
Uh-huh.
Pac-12 championship game.
What are the Big 12 standings?
And
right now?
we
There's
are
147 scenarios or something like that.
Yeah, Oklahoma's still the one, right? I guess I
Well,
say that without really knowing.
Technically, in the standings, Oklahoma State is 2 because they beat Oklahoma in Bedlam. But also, K-State has the same record.
Wait, so who plays who this weekend? How many? Yeah. Okay, so if Texas doesn't play Oklahoma in the conference title game, that hurts them.
Right.
That hurts them because I think they would love to avenge that loss.
Well, let me get my slow internet to pull up here. TCU, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Texas. Those are Black Friday games. Oklahoma State plays BYU. Kansas State plays Iowa State. Ugh.
And do we know who gets in that scenario? If they all win, is it Okie State?
I saw the
tiebreaker thing.
The tiebreaker thing was out, but it was too long for me to read.
I agree. I TLDR'd it too.
Yeah. But as
somebody tell me who gets in the Big 12 championship game if they all win this weekend.
I believe it's Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Because as I'm looking at it here, they are in the second position of the standings.
That does not help Texas.
It does not.
But they're still sitting there. And then I guess you have your two-loss Bama, you have your Ohio State Michigan loser. Like, could I make a case that the Ohio State Michigan loser is actually the best team out of all of the remainders after the other three spots have been claimed?
That is certainly what they will tell everyone.
Yeah.
Or
can I make the case that Washington is that team after they lose to Oregon in the Pac-12 title game?
I might be inclined. I just like watching Oregon and Washington play, so like they would get my vote.
So the chaos scenario is that you have the one-loss loser of Ohio State Michigan. You have both one-loss Oregon and Washington. Washington already beat Oregon, but Oregon came back and beat Washington in the Pac-12 title game and takes the kind of auto bid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Takes the quote-unquote auto bid, takes the spot. And then Washington sits out there as the quote-unquote wild card. Then you have the loser of Ohio State, Michigan. You have one loss, Big 12 champion Texas. You have undefeated conference champion but injured Florida State. How's that get parsed through? Right? So
if Michigan if Michigan has one loss, they're done. Michigan cannot lose with all the other stuff.
I think we're in deep here, Josh. We're in deep, and it's late. There is some stuff that will sort itself out, but we haven't had the giant upset that really threw the wrench in the whole season this year. It just really hasn't happened. Unless you count Alabama losing to Texas, which, I mean, they're one loss, and if they lose now, there's another chaos agent, of course, which is Alabama in the SEC title game.
What if they win?
If they win, it actually probably makes it easier because then you have to put Alabama in and you have to put Georgia in.
Yeah.
And then,
there's just no room.
Pac-12 champion and Ohio State Michigan winner.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of what you would have to do at that point. So it's on one hand a chaos agent. It's on the other hand, it makes it really stupid at the same time. So there's a lot in there. And I am officially unconvinced that it's going to work itself out.
Someone's going to have a gripe, maybe even a more legitimate gripe than most years. Like, hey, we had a chance to play this out.
Florida State, you just brought up the thing with Florida State. If Florida State goes undefeated and they win the ACC and they don't make the playoff, like that's sad.
Yeah. I agree that it's sad, but I would not vote them in.
I don't want to, there's a difference. I don't want to see them in the playoff.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them get bludgeoned by Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan. But I think you have to do it. I think you have to put them there. They won all their games.
I get that.
Okay.
But let's not have another bad playoff.
Now, next year, this conversation becomes a little bit different because there's actual, things that you can do to just clinch yourself a playoff spot. It's called winning your conference. So that changes the game a little bit. And spare me with all your, here's what the 12-team playoff would look like crap.
Connor doesn't want your graphics.
I don't want to hear that crap. Joel writes in, Yeah, if we could have another playoff with both, if we could not have another playoff with Georgia and Alabama, that'd be great. I did watch Office Space over the weekend, by the way.
Oh, okay.
What a movie.
That explains it.
That's a little Lumberg. All right, we'll come back with NFL reaction, overreaction, and we'll play a fun new game.
Okay.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Look at it from the angle of the playoff. Do you just want to go and say, well, cheating, who cares, because it'll be good for ratings? Or do you want to take a stand about, no, we're not going to accept that teams are going to this length to try to game the system and go outside of the rule book to win games just to get to this event?
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A sunny, chilly, and windy day for your Tuesday afternoon, hitting a high temperature around 42 degrees, a northwest wind gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight, waking up to a temperature tomorrow morning in the 20s. Mostly sunny throughout the day, but warming up tomorrow to a temperature in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Creighton Sports Update.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, it's volleyball and soccer season here at Creighton. So get your tickets and come out and support your Blue Jays. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, gocreighton.com/tickets, or visit the office located at the Ryan Athletic Center. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first and experience the difference. They've got a large indoor showroom at 119th and I. You can shop inside during all kinds of weather conditions to see the vast array of new and pre-owned inventory. They've got the stylish SUVs that fit the whole family comfortably to capable trucks to get the job done. Woodhouse Buick GMC has something for everyone, including the 23 GMC Sierra 1500. So no matter where you're heading or what tasks need to be tackled, there's a premium and capable vehicle waiting for you. The Sierra 1500 that's perfect right now at a great deal. $6,000 off MSRP. See dealer for details. Expires November 30th. Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first, 119th and I with their huge indoor showroom or online anytime. WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Experience Omaha's first Indian restaurant and brewery. Jaipur has created delicious Indian food and brews, from the tandoori salmon to the chicken tikka makhani. Jaipur has something for every palate. 2 locations, Rockbrook and Dundee. Come see why Jaipur has been voted first place best of Omaha 18 years in a row.
Hey, it's Connor Happer. Join Gary Sharp and I for the Class A State Championship game tonight on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Great Plains Home Exterior. Tonight, it's the 1-seeded, undefeated Omaha Westside Warriors against the 3-seeded Class A Elkhorn South. Coverage of the high school football state championship games on 1620 The Zone is brought to you by Great Plains Home Exteriors. The Class A State Championship game tonight. Broadcast starts at 7 o'clock, kickoff at 7:15, right here on 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
All right, every week we ask our writers to actually get to work. Write us some questions for NFL reaction, overreaction. Their takes. They like to take the pulse of the NFL watching public and
the common man.
The common man.
And then they ask us the very same questions and ask us if they're reactions or overreaction. So we have asked them to work, and they have worked for us, and they've spit out a couple of fun questions and a game. And a fun game, which we will play during this segment. Josh, feed them to me.
We go to the list provided to us. Take number 1. Aaron Rodgers is coming back to play in 2023.
Overreaction.
I agree.
I do not think he's coming back. I think he wants you to think he's coming back. I think he likes when people think about him.
I think he even wants the team to think he's coming back.
Yeah.
Like he's the carrot.
The knight in shining armor.
Yeah, like, hey, if we can just
play good enough.
If we can just play good enough to December, Aaron will come and he'll rattle off 5 in a row and we'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think so. He was, because this is what happens when he goes on McAfee's show. He just gets asked like, hey, here's what people are saying about you, and you can discredit them, which is actually great.
I've said a lot of negative things about Travis Kelce over the last year. I want to praise him for his comments on Aaron Rodgers. Whenever the hell someone asked him about Aaron Rodgers, he was standing at a podium and he said, oh yeah, Aaron, no, yeah, Tuesday's his game day.
That was pretty good. But he goes on there and
I like it.
And McAfee's like, here's what people are saying about you today. They're saying that you actually didn't tear your Achilles. And then Aaron Rodgers responds to it. And then about 20 seconds later, he says something about people who like vaccines. And that's pretty much his whole appearance on the Pat McAfee show. But I don't think if he does have a torn Achilles, he's not coming back. I don't care what kind of powers he has. He's not coming back. This is an overreaction.
Not enough crystals in the world can have him ready for, like, there's going to be no reason for him to come back.
Well, there's the physical part and there's no reason.
Yeah. They're not going to be in the hunt.
Okay.
As the graphic says.
Okay, we agree on that one.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the hunt. 4-6 right now. Zach Wilson looks increasingly worse.
2 games coming against the Dolphins. Got the Texans on there, which is daunting all of a sudden.
Yep. Nope. This is an overreaction. He's not coming back. We're in no threat of this at the moment.
Number 2, the Bengals without Joe Burrow are done.
Yeah.
Why would you say otherwise?
Yeah, this is a very appropriate reaction.
They're 5-5 with him.
They will not make the playoffs this year, and the Chiefs can sit at home and be happy again. It really does change the landscape in the AFC. Like if Joe Burrow goes away, you're left with increasingly worse Josh Allen, increasingly
who's not in the playoffs right now,
less of a threat Josh Allen, Tua, who can't beat a good team, Lamar Jackson, who's a real threat,
number 1 seed right now,
Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud.
That is correct.
And Russell Wilson?
No, Russell. Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett
is a playoff quarterback right now.
Yeah. So you see how much different that looks without Joe Burrow? Yeah, no, they're not going to do anything anymore. I'm sorry. I was waiting for it. I was hoping that they would kind of cause some chaos in the back end of the season, but nope, he's done and they're done.
Yeah, hard to really argue otherwise.
Yep. Thank you, writers, making it so easy on us today.
Well, time's a factor here at the end of the show. Number 3, the Chiefs' lack of wide receivers will bite them in the playoffs.
They could still win the Super Bowl without it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Their defense is solid. And just all of a sudden, I just don't believe in any AFC playoff team. It seems so stacked preseason, and now like Jags, Dolphins, Browns, Texans, Steelers.
Right.
Like who in that group? Obviously, the Ravens are different. That they're in a grouping with the Chiefs, more or less.
But are they going to be in the situation at any point in the AFC playoffs where they're like down 14-0, they need some dudes to go make some plays?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No,
I get they have problems right now, but I would still take them over just about anybody there is in that conference.
Don't panic, Chiefs.
They about beat the Eagles without it last night.
Yeah.
I know they're at home. But yeah, I to get to the Super Bowl is one thing. To win the Super Bowl is another. So if they're in the Super Bowl and they got Marcus Valdez-Scantling and blah blah blah, then it's going to be probably more of a problem for them.
Their schedule is infinitely easier than the Ravens' remaining schedule. They'll get that number one spot back.
Yeah, I think we have to respect the Chiefs today.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the message.
I do want to say this. Chiefs fans are very sad today. They're wondering, is there any wide receivers out there on the open market for us to go get? And the answer is no.
I'm being handed an additional take.
So here's what you do. This one's from me.
Oh, okay.
Here's what you do. In order to soothe everything and make everything nice and easy in Kansas City today,
they need that.
You give $250 million to Bobby Witt Jr.
Why the heck not?
This is the opposite of Friday News Dump. If the Royals decided to give $250 million to Bobby Witt Jr. right now, sports radio would not be talking about how they don't have any good wide receivers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved.
Yep.
At least for the time being. And then next week you could do the same thing with Vinny Pasquantino, and then you could just keep it going until all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl and it doesn't matter anymore. Think about it.
Good take. I like the take. They should do that. It's clever marketing. Take number 4. We should talk about the fact that the Cowboys haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet.
Good take, writers. I looked at their schedule last night and I thought, I don't feel like the Cowboys are even that good, but they keep bludgeoning teams. Well, that's because they play all the worst teams in the NFL.
They're in that perfect 5 spot right now where they would play the NFC South champion in the first round of the playoffs. That's right where Josh wants them to be.
They could get to the playoffs and still not beat a team with a winning record in the first round of the playoffs. It could be amazing.
They've bludgeoned the Giants, Jets, Patriots, eked one out against the Chargers.
And got blasted by the 49ers. And lost to the Cardinals.
Bludgeoned the Rams, Giants, Panthers. And then
they haven't made a winning team all year.
Lost to the Cardinals. That seems to be their throwaway. We said that when it happened. Every team gets one throwaway.
They're going to win against the Football Commanders on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, while I'm taking my nap. They're going to lose to the Eagles again. They could beat the Bills, but that doesn't matter. They're going to be a sub-500 team by the time the season ends, maybe. And then they play the Lions and the Commanders to finish up the season. They also play the Dolphins. Can't wait till Christmas Eve in what I'm calling, Josh, get ready.
Okay.
The Good But Not Good Enough Bowl.
Catchy title.
Brought to you by, could be fun for Skype.
HD DVD.
Good, but not good enough.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
America went a different way.
Samsung Galaxy 5.
Whoa. Is that the one that blew up?
I don't know. It's whatever, not the iPhone. Brought to you by Droid. It's fine. It works, but it's not very good. It's a good opportunity for anybody to jump in there. We should talk about this more. Thank you, writers. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate the opportunity, the platform.
All right, let's play a game. Let's play a game on the final minute here of NFL Reaction, Overreaction.
And there's a lot of Broncos fans in the chat who are like, what about us? What about us?
Don't worry. Here we are. Here we are. The game is called Are You Better Than the Denver Broncos? Okay. It's like, are you smarter than a 5th grader, but less fun? All right. So we're going to go through the teams in the AFC.
Okay.
And we're going to say, are you better than the Denver Broncos? We are going to put aside the Chiefs and the Ravens. We'll put them over here. They're not in this pot.
Seems obvious.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
The Patriots.
Yes.
So the Broncos are better than the Patriots.
Yes, that's
You're
what I
going to
was
say
saying.
yes when you do that.
Yeah.
The Patriots. The Jets.
Yes.
The Bengals.
Today, yes.
Yes, today. The Titans.
Yes.
The Colts.
Yes.
The Chargers.
My heart says no, but my head and my eyes say yes.
The Raiders.
Yes.
The Browns.
No.
Okay, let's do the Steelers first. The Steelers.
Push.
The Bills. This is where the line is.
No.
This is where the line is. No?
I mean, they
just beat them.
Okay.
They just beat them.
They're better than the Bills. They just beat them like 10 days ago. Yes.
I would realistically ask you about the Dolphins, but I realized that the Dolphins won like 70-20, but that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
People forget about that.
The Broncos are 5-5, so I'm not sure the Dolphins could do that again.
The only teams that I haven't named are the Texans and the Jaguars, and they might be better than one of those, a half of those. I don't know, like whatever it is.
I would be interested in who won a Jaguars Broncos NFL game.
Could make me a case that the Denver Broncos are like the 3rd to 5th best team in the AFC.
Wow. We did that, didn't we?
How's that, Denver Broncos fans looking for Denver Broncos talk? We here. I mean, this is power rankings, right?
Yeah, wow.
I would take them over like way more than half of the AFC right now.
And they're going to play the Browns this weekend, and
Okay.
then the Texans.
Yeah, so that's the other thing about them. They're going to put the rubber to the road here in the next couple of weeks. Browns, Texans, Chargers, Lions.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's like those are all 50-50.
You'll know in a month if they're good or not.
You will know in a month, and then by that time the season will be just about over. But they're
And if you don't know in a month, that means they're probably not good.
well, if you don't know in a month, that means they've gone 2-2 over that stretch, and they're 7-7, and they finish with the Patriots, Chargers, and Raiders, and they'll probably make the playoffs.
Already in the hunt.
Yeah. So they might be good. It's time to accept it.
And they know how to beat the Chiefs. Just poison Patrick Mahomes.
That's exactly right. Break his leg like they did that other time. That is NFL reaction, overreaction.
Oh, one more thing about the Broncos. Throw that guy out of the league. I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah.
Throw that guy out of the league.
Yeah.
No place for him.
Kareem Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of Broncos fans agree with that, or at least
canceled.
Think he needs to be punished.
Put him in the same jail as the guy from the guy that tried to hit the guy in the head in the college game on Thursday night.
The Boston College
College guy. Yeah. Just put them both in their own little corner. Josh has his bottom 5 NFL teams when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Severe for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson, right next to Taste of New Orleans, and in the Old Market as well. One of the great things about Ted and Wally's, being that they open more than 35 years, is they have great nostalgia, not just for the ice cream, but for things to buy for the holidays as well. You want to grab something that someone will love? Get yourself a gift card from Ted and Wally's or from Taste of New Orleans. People will love you for it. You put it in a card, and it's the perfect gift. Get ready for Thanksgiving today with some to-go orders from Ted and Wally's, both locations, Benson and Old Market, and tell them Severe sent you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit, hims.com/radio.
The final regular season unauthorized Big Red Breakfast is back, and we want you to join me, Gary Sharp, and Nick Hanley from Sharp and Hanley in the morning, along with Jimmy Wednesday for our final breakfast. We'll be breaking down all the big stories for the final week, and can Nebraska repeat their upset of Iowa from last year?
This week, join us at the new Gretna Hy-Vee on 191st, featuring a breakfast buffet for just our show. One trip for $12 or all you can eat for $15. It is our final home game unauthorized Big Red Breakfast with Sharp and Hanley at Hy-Vee at 1620 The Zone.
If you're looking for the hottest ticket in town, it's Blue Collar Boxing 2023, presented by Limitless Mail at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. On Wednesday, November 22nd, local union members will face off in the boxing ring for charity, with proceeds benefiting the Nebraska Center for Workforce Development and Education and United Way of the Midlands. The atmosphere will be electric, the energy will be high, and the arena will be rocking. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at bluecollarboxing.org or the Liberty First Credit Union Arena box office.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Give thanks because FanDuel is giving all customers a no-sweat same-game parlay for Thanksgiving. All you have to do is place a 3-leg, get it on Thanksgiving, same-game parlay on any of the Thanksgiving Day NFL games, and you'll get bonus bets back if you don't win. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Build your own or choose from the popular same-game parlays pre-built on your FanDuel top-rated sportsbook app. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/zone. That's the promo code to use, ZONE, so you don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay in America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 over, present Iowa. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issues now. Withdrawable bonus bets expires 7 days after receipt. Maximum refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Maybe some movement, maybe not. We've whittled down probably the worst 8 teams in the NFL. They all cycle through Josh's list. Bottom 5 teams in the NFL. Josh, hit us.
Connor, I took I guess, for lack of a better term, I took some liberties with it.
I like it.
With it this week, because there's just some teams that I wanted to yell at.
Okay, good.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Number 5 is a team that I am now on a crusade against. A crusade against.
A crusade?
To fire their head coach for malpractice.
Oh, yeah, he sucks.
It's the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, how is he still not fired?
Did you hear his post-game comments?
No, not this week.
It's all on me, but also the defense stinks and Austin Eckler's a bum. I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, okay. I thought he actually said that.
Oh my gosh, guy. It can't all there's no it's all on me is a period. It's not a comma. It's not it's all on me, but
yeah.
It's all on me, period.
You
gotta fire Brandon Staley.
I wish it was easier to tell if it was all him or if it's some Justin Herbert's maybe not that good.
I don't even know if he's good anymore.
Yeah.
He's good, right?
It's just hard to tell. I think if you remove, and this is all what happens every time, you remove the head coach and you find out, right? You remove the head coach and you give the quarterback a new situation, and then you find out actually if the quarterback's good. But what if they find out that he might not be that good? It's possible. And then Brandon Staley is, he's got his revenge. But I don't think so. I think this guy's bad.
Brandon Staley or Justin Herbert? Who do you think is bad?
Brandon Staley.
Okay.
Yeah. Justin Herbert might be bad, but we know that Brandon Staley is bad. So time to fire him. It's time to fire him a long time ago.
Yeah, and I don't know what you're doing by keeping him.
Well, I don't either. But doesn't seem to be getting anywhere.
bottom 10 defense. They are last place in the AFC West.
They are.
They have a plus 21 point differential. How's that possible?
So your quarterback throws only 3-yard swing passes.
Remember with the cannon he had in the draft class? Like, oh my gosh, this guy's got
He
a
does.
cannon.
He's got a great arm. We know that.
Yeah. Why not use it?
Number 4.
Number 4. They were number 1 last week. And then Danny DeVito scored 31 points in a win against the Washington Commanders, who I've got my eyes on after a fire sale at the trade deadline. Worst point differential in the league, minus 136. But positive news for the New York Football Giants. Danny DeVito's 3 touchdowns are more than Daniel Jones has thrown all year.
Let me read you a professional stat line from Danny DeVito. 18 for 26, 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now let me read you some things from the very same person's stat line that might go into a different category. 9.5 yards per completion. 9 sacks for 45 yards. And a QBR of 36.1.
That last one hurt.
Saquon Barkley got going on the ground. He threw 2 touchdowns to Saquon Barkley, and they helped. They still don't have very many good wide receivers. But maybe it was a case of them playing the football Commanders. Maybe it was a case of
possible.
They found a spark. Either way, they won.
Football Commanders are 0-4 within their own division.
Yeah, I think I pegged them wrong at the beginning. They were one of my teams. Like, I think I like them more than other people do, and it just hasn't got there yet for the Football Commanders.
Interesting.
Good job by the Giants.
Yeah.
Moving down.
3. Combination of 3 and 5. Number 3.
Another team that I just want to yell at. Also residing in New York. It's the New York Jets. Robert Saleh tackled and then benched Zach Wilson. We're not talking about this enough. He tackled his own quarterback.
Yeah. Fell over. He looks like famously, I liked some of the things that Zach Wilson was doing earlier in the season. I don't think that's there anymore. In their last 3 games, they've scored 24 points. And they've played the Chargers, Raiders, and Bills.
I got numbers on that. The New York Jets offense has not scored a touchdown since October 29th in the first quarter against the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Connor, that is 47 possessions without scoring a touchdown in the National Football League.
Yeah, they could be Nebraska if they just started turning the ball over a little bit.
Could I read you the stat line from Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle? Zach Wilson started the game. Tim Boyle finished the game.
Tim Boyle is now the starting quarterback of the New York Jets, by the way.
That is correct. Zach Wilson went 7 of 15 for 81 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So apparently they scored a touchdown on offense this week.
Tim Boyle, who was bad at football in college, is bad at football in the NFL. He just supplanted Zach Wilson.
He went 7 of 14 for 33 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. All right.
You are what you are. Have I said that before? The Dolphins will be pounding their chest this weekend because they beat another bad team. It'll be the New York Jets.
That is
on Saturday, by the way. Or no, Friday.
Friday, yeah. Black Friday football.
Black Friday football.
You watch your Nebraska, Iowa on CBS. Got to remember that on CBS.
Oh, okay. So is this Dolphins Jets game on CBS then?
No. Then it is on.
Oh, it's on Prime.
It's on Prime.
So they don't get the lead in like that Creighton DePaul game did last year.
Right.
Sad. Everybody's going to be fighting for that spot this year.
Yep.
That was like the second most watched college basketball game of the year.
Yeah. Just because people left their TVs on.
That's so good.
Here comes 2. Number 2.
They were 3 last week. They've fallen 1 spot despite not playing a game. I just think the Patriots are worse than they were last
Yeah,
week.
not much to say about them.
Yeah, they're really bad.
I don't know that the Patriots are worse than they were last week, but the Jets or the Giants are better.
Yeah.
So they moved out.
Yeah.
The Patriots are so bad they didn't play. And guess what? Their next game is
the
Giants on Sunday.
I kind of felt with the Cardinals like, just they're kind of nothing. Like, and the Titans, who had a really bad showing on Sunday, I'm shocked aren't on here, but I just really wanted to yell about the Chargers and the Jets.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I think we've whittled it down to like 9, 8, 9, 10. And those are the teams that we're dealing with here. And
We'll rotate in
I
and
think
out.
they're interchangeable based on who poops their pants worse on any given Sunday. Any given Sunday.
Great movie. Leads us to the worst team of the week.
Yeah. Except for number one. This one might be pretty set in stone at this point.
It hurts.
Make it so, number one.
Number one.
Yeah, Connor, they're 1-9. Sorry. It's Carolina Panthers.
Very few signs of life here, Josh.
No.
Maybe Matt Rule should go get Brian Burns and Frankie Louvu to transfer to Nebraska like he
threatened
yesterday.
I don't know if you've been keeping track of your Panthers. I'm sure you have.
Oh, I of course have.
Who's calling the plays for them now? It changes week to week.
I don't know.
Sometimes it's Frank Wright. Sometimes it's the OC. Sometimes it goes back to Frank.
I could be covering the team, and I don't think I would know that. Actually. Yep, they stink, and there's nothing really to say about that.
Well, Connor, hold on. Because on Sunday,
I know,
it is the first time since your NFL fandom has been official.
Yep.
Connor's team, the Carolina Panthers, versus my team, the Tennessee Titans, Thanksgiving weekend in Nashville.
I'll be watching this game on Red Zone when it pops in twice.
Which president will Scott Hansen kill on Sunday?
It's sad. I'm sure Josh and I will share a text or two.
Well, now Sunday on Red Zone is going to be interesting because you got 3 games on Thursday, 1 on Friday. There's just going to be very few games.
Yeah, what's the Sunday slate look like for this week? Let's see.
Are the 506 maps up?
Sunday in the week 12. Okay. Noon games. Saints Falcons. Grade the slate, Josh. Saints Falcons. Steelers Bengals. Panthers Titans.
Sicko.
Bucks Colts. Patriots Giants. Jags Texans.
Oh.
Yeah, lock me in for Jags Texans. I hope I get Jags Texans here. If not, I'll be watching Panthers Titans. Go Panthers.
The 506 maps are not up.
They'll get there.
Bills Eagles is a late game, but also Chiefs Raiders is a late game, so we will not be watching Bills Eagles.
We'll share a couple texts on Sunday.
I'm sure we will.
So that's all I can.
I look forward to it.
Back with Jacob Bigelow to talk some Husker hoops and just hoops at large. Also, we will discuss with Jacob a quote yesterday. Have you thought about much how bad Louisville basketball is?
Okay, so I don't follow them.
Their coach might be the worst coach of all time.
I saw a tweet that said like clockwork, and it was the score of the Louisville game with like 4 minutes left. They had like a 12-point lead, and then they lost by 6.
We'll talk about that with Jacob next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Since 1972, family-owned and locally roasted Host Coffee Service has been roasting the finest coffee for businesses and restaurants. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer. 'Tis the season at Glass House Market within Canoyer Garden Center. We'd like to be a part of your family's holiday tradition. Whether you're looking for a gift for that special someone or a wreath for your front door, we'd like to invite you to come shop our stunning holiday market full of Christmas decor, novelty items, and fresh greens. Shop Glass House Market, located within Canoyer Garden Center on 66th Street between Cornhusker and Highway 370 in Papillion. Open daily 10 to 6.
Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
Are you that relative who's always asked to bring plates and napkins to the family dinner? Bring brews instead, specially quality, locally brewed Nebraska beers and ciders. The Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild wants you to know that local brewers are working on special seasonal beverages to make your holiday family get-togethers a day full of fun, football, and feasting. Lots and lots of feasting. Plus, you'll never be asked to bring plates and napkins again, especially if your goofy cousin from Iowa brings that state's favorite beer. Cheers.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
From sports medicine to spine, bone, and joint problems, Nebraska Medicine is your home for the region's most comprehensive orthopedic care. Our specialists have the unmatched expertise to diagnose and treat common and complex problems, with surgery being a last resort. With multiple locations, our leading care is miles ahead, yet close to home. For orthopedic advances, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/ortho.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Hi everybody, Kent Pavelka here with why I chose Everlevel Concrete Repair for my driveway. They do it all. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, protect the finished product from deterioration, and all at a fraction of the price of replacement. It's not a Band-Aid like other repair methods. Everlevel's products are designed to last, which is why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Better yet, it all comes with a transferable warranty. Protect your concrete before winter. Call Everlevel today for your free inspection. Everlevel, they make your driveway Everlevel. Level up.
Get a jump on your New Year's fitness resolutions by becoming a member at Croc Center Omaha. We've got tons of fitness activities, from free weights to Zumba to an indoor water park and more. Join now with an auto-pay membership and we'll waive the processing fee and you'll get your 3rd month free, plus you'll get 4 free guest passes, or prepay a whole year, get a 13th month free, and get 6 guest passes. Croc Center is just moments away from the Kennedy Freeway and Q Street. Go to omahacroc.org for more. That's omahakroc.org.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
God, Josh, figure it out. People are like looking at their radio. They're probably turning up their radio dial.
And then I blew their ears out.
Josh just blew out your car's speakers. Blame Josh Hodson.
That's me.
Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, and the Stretch Big Podcast, which debuted this week, joins us now on the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hello, Jacob.
Hey, Hap. I appreciate the plug for the pod, man. Thank you.
Of course. So is this week out?
We're gonna wait until after the. They got the game tomorrow and then the game on Sunday, and then we'll kind of do a little recap of the two. But then they get a week off before the Creighton game. But we started with 2, and you got a little intro and then a recap of the Oregon State game to get you started.
Yeah, how was the? How everybody always raves about the atmosphere up at the Pentagon, and Nebraska won big against a Power 5, against a high major team again as they made the trip to Sioux Falls. I've only ever heard good things about Nebraska basketball playing there, which they've done twice.
Yeah, I didn't get to make the first trip 5 years ago, but I hadn't been up there before. But it was really cool, super quaint, small gym. Wilson Moore, who's covering it for the World Herald, he said he just came from working in Indiana. He said this is basically like a big Indiana high school gym with college games being played in it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, they're the seats on the baselines, everyone's on bleachers. I mean, it felt like a high school game, but I mean, it got really loud in there. The adult beverages were flowing, and people were getting into it, and it helped with what was going on the court too.
So those are like the true Nebrasketball sickos, right? Like those are the people that were there for Miles' last game when they played the NIT game against Butler that year. There was like 4,000 just like, I care about Nebraska basketball and Nebraska basketball only. I love those guys. And when you get them together, it could be a dangerous atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a mixture of hoop sickos and South Dakotans for Nebraska. A little bit of both was the read I got, but no, there was when you combine the two, and it became a pretty lively atmosphere in there for sure.
Okay, so on the basketball side, obviously there's some real excitement. It happens when you're 5-0. They've scheduled well. They've gave themselves a nice little runway into a portion of the schedule that is a little bit trickier now, and you jump into the conference for a couple games at the beginning of December as well. Duquesne will be a tough game tomorrow night. It's a top 100 team, but just I guess through the first 5, what have you liked that you maybe didn't expect to get from this group?
I mean, you got to obviously take it with a grain of salt with the opponents they've had, but their defensive intensity, man, it's really stood out to me. It stood out to the metrics. You look at Ken Palm, Torvik, any of the sicko sites. The defense is really well regarded right now. And now obviously they've played a bunch of bottom, one sub 150 power conference team, and then a bunch of sub 200 bye games. But if they can keep that intensity up on the defensive end, that's going to keep them in some games against better competition, which they have coming up. And I've really liked. That was my biggest question. I thought they coming into the year they'd have plenty of guys who could score the ball. I was kind of skeptical on the defensive end, especially after how last year's group played there. But through 5, small sample size, but it's trending in the right direction.
If Nebraska makes it through tomorrow, and Creighton makes it through this week in Kansas City, and then they go to Stillwater next weit. There's already buzz about it. We're talking about both undefeated Creighton, Nebraska. I don't know if that would be the first time ever, but it would have to be one of just a few, those two getting together, and they both haven't lost yet. I mean, what kind of atmosphere and environment are we talking about on the 3rd in Lincoln?
I mean, it'd be pretty juiced up, I think. And both teams. Creighton's obviously has a lot of preseason national expectations, and Nebraska's now getting a little bit of love nationally too. Find something you love as much as Andy Katz loves him from Nebraska basketball. But I think there'd be some national people coming to town. I think there'd be some buzz for it. I'm sure we're gonna have the duo of Kugler and Baugh on the call. I mean, everything will be lining up for quite the Sunday afternoon in Lincoln if both teams come in 7-0.
Rink Mast, what has he surprised you in a positive way, or is this about what you expected from him?
He's been as good as advertised, and then some. All the talk I heard, starting with summer workouts, and even just talking to people in Missouri Valley circles in the fall. It was all not in the fall, last spring. It was all rave reviews about Mass. Just his inside out game, how tough he is. Everything I've seen has been just about as good as advertised. So you can knock down some more shots outside. That would just be the cherry on top. But the way he's performed on the glass, the way it's all been as good as I expected, and then some from him.
I guess if you're looking at maybe a stretch of 10 games, like what is a good offensive performance for Nebraska basketball? It doesn't have to be like a points total, but like what? Because I think we saw the top end of that, what they did against Oregon State. Obviously, the quality competition is something that you're wondering about with that game, but they look confident and comfortable on offense. What can they do if they sort of carry that piece into their next stretch here?
They can, I think the biggest thing that I've emphasized, that will be an indicator is the balance. I think they've had like 4 4 different leading scorers, in 5 games so far. They've had multiple guys in double figures. Just the balanced attack. It's looking at the roster before the season, you can maybe think there's some mouths to feed. How are they going to distribute? But they've played pretty unselfishly. If somebody has it going, they're finding that guy. But like on Saturday, the Bryce Williams was clearly feeling it. They found him, and he got up to 25. Mass still notched a double-double, and so did Juwan Gary off the bench. I mean, I think the balance in the offensive attack, if you've got the multiple guys in double figures, multiple guys, they've got options. And, that the balance is the key. And we haven't seen Keisei Tominaga really get going yet.
No, not at
he's
all.
He's only played 3 games, but, they've shown quite a bit of balance and, just the options they've got without him really being a factor.
So we have Jacob Bigelow with us, who covers Nebraska basketball and does so well. And he's also going to double as our college basketball sicko this year. Really a resident sicko, and that's a great. I say that as the utmost compliment. So you send me these where these quotes go around from these press conferences after games in college basketball, and they don't like make their way to my timeline for whatever reason. But you're plugged in with all these places, and you sent me the Kenny Payne one yesterday where he said Mike Woodson shocked him by simply moving to a zone defense, and it caused them the game last night. What the hell is going on at Louisville?
That is an excellent question. It's been a long 2 year. It was a long year last year for Kenny Payne, and now we're into year 2. I thought I'd seen everything with this quote after they lost an exhibition to a D2 team for the 2nd straight season, and he said, "We're never going to beat teams with talent. We're going to have to beat teams with fight." And I'm just like, "Sir, you're the coach of Louisville. Like, what? You were brought in because talent.
They won a national championship like in the last decade."
Yes, and they're a premier brand. They're a premier. They're a college basketball brand, and for a guy with a background in recruiting talent to say we're not going to beat teams with talent, like that was pretty eye-opening. But for him to be baffled by my acquaintance Mike Woodson, just simply, and even the icing on the cake was Mike Woodson on his post-game radio show. They asked him about the zone, and he said, "Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it, but our guys brought it up in the huddle, and I said, why not?" So it wasn't even Mike Woodson; it was the players who tricked Kenny Payne.
Oh man, I love college basketball so much. This is beautiful. And we get characters like Mike Woodson and his goatee, and we got Kenny Payne. He's a never-ending content stream of wow. I didn't think that would. I didn't factor that into the possibility that a coach or maybe a group of players could say, "Let's go play zone and see if it works." Awesome.
Yeah, you'd think as a power conference basketball coach, the concept of in-game adjustments wouldn't be like a foreign language. But with the current state of Louisville basketball, there's something new every day. It's incredible.
Jacob, thank you as always. We'll listen to the pod and excited for tomorrow night for the big non-conference matchup, Nebraska and Duquesne. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Happer. Thanks. Have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
That is Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated and the Stretch Big podcast. Yeah, like I said, the great thing about Jacob is he sees things from everywhere, and we don't give college basketball coaches enough credit for being like dumb or weird enough. So we're going to highlight some of those on that segment this year. That's the plan. We'll come back. Mike Sautter will join. The return of Mike Sautter. Somewhere in Memorial Stadium right now. And just watched a barn burner 12-0 with Boone Central and Wahoo. Another game coming up, and we got the Class A title game tonight. We'll look back and look ahead on a preview with Sautter next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
I want to hear the thank you at the end of it, too.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. When you order a Big Mac at McDonald's.
No, thank you.
Thank you, caller Connor.
Good job, Connor.
No, thank you.
Maybe it was Connor Stallion. No,
it could have been.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P, 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Knoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A sunny, chilly, and windy day for your Tuesday afternoon, hitting a high temperature around 42 degrees, a northwest wind gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Mostly clear overnight, waking up to a temperature tomorrow morning in the 20s. Mostly sunny throughout the day, but warming up tomorrow to a temperature in the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer, to find the perfect vehicle for wherever your plans take you. Shop SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Experience Omaha's first Indian restaurant and brewery. Jaipur has created delicious Indian food and brews, from the tandoori salmon to the chicken tikka makhani. Jaipur has something for every palate. 2 locations, Rockbrook and Dundee. Come see why Jaipur has been voted first place best of Omaha 18 years in a row.
Thank you, Maverick fans. Your Omaha Maverick hockey team is coming off 2 sellouts. And because of you, they are the hottest ticket in town. Omaha Maverick hockey takes on the Augustana Vikings November 24th and NCHC Power St. Cloud on December 8th and 9th at Baxter Arena. Let's pack the Baxter. Get your tickets now by calling the box office at 402-554-MAVS or by going to omavs.com/tics.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms: irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Home is where your health is, where your family gathers together, takes care of each other. And right there with you is Nebraska Medicine. We're proud to take care of Nebraska, to deliver everything your family needs. From immediate care to neurosurgery, it's expertise you can be confident in. With locations throughout the region and telehealth appointments from the comfort of home. Find a provider close to you at nebraskamed.com.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All right, welcome back. We're joined by Mike Sautter, Herd Sports, covering it from every angle. He's sitting up in Memorial Stadium right now, just getting ready to cover another football game. Hello, Mike.
I'm not sitting, I'm standing. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, all right. I was just checking, just asking a question.
Did you enjoy the 12-0 C1 game?
No. Not really.
Yeah, we're going to get a competitive one of these?
That one was probably the most competitive. Hey, shout out to Boone Central, though, because Wahoo only had 2 total yards in the second half of the game.
That's good. That will usually win you games. I thought it was going to be better than it ended up being last night in B.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say?
I said I thought it was going to be better than it ended up being last night in Class B.
Yeah, I was obviously Bennington's defense been phenomenal all year. They just fly around. Kyler Lordson is amazing. Like he's a really good wrestler, 2-time state champ, and he's probably a better football player. So yeah, and it was pretty good. Bennington was awfully impressive last night, I guess would be the term or way to say it.
Yeah, I would say so too. I like their quarterback. Yeah. They kind of trusted him. Sandman was good. They got the opening drive touchdown, and then they kind of just cruised from there. But I thought the quarterback made some plays, and that was a big part of the difference.
Yeah, and his ability kind of to move use his legs to kind of get out of trouble and stuff was kind of big. He made some pretty big throws too in pivotal moments. It just, and Archer was kind of the guy. I think Bennington's had all these guys, right? Like a running back the last handful of years, and same thing, quarterback. There's been, a Bird playing quarterback for the last 7 years before this year. So for them to replace like a Dylan Mostek and those kind of players and do what they continue to do this year is pretty remarkable. Again, I'd say their defense has just been lights out. I guess I've said it for about 2 months now that in order to beat them, you got to score over 20, which is 21, and that's the only way you can beat them. And Norris came the closest; it was 23-20. Yep. So they haven't given up any points. So yeah, it's been pretty impressive, and frankly, what Coach Linhart has done,
unbelievable.
In short time-ish there. He is a great football coach. He was in Fairbury before he came to Bennington, and really had that program heading in the right direction and winning games and everything. And now taking over, he was an assistant for a little bit, year or two at Bennington, and then taking over full time. He's a great coach. Players believe in him. Obviously, I've been in his practices and stuff, and it's super crisp, and you can tell he is very put together with his practice plans. Even, they're just so on point. They're not standing around. Everybody's getting reps from their freshmen on up in their practices. So it's been pretty awesome to see what he's done there.
Well, they won 39 in a row, and what is he now? 49-2 as a head coach?
Yeah, I think that's right. He won 2 his first year. Yeah.
It's a good start. It's a
pretty good winning percentage.
It's a good start to your career, that's for sure. All right, let's go to tonight. Westside, it was pretty much destined from the start that they were going to be in this game. We weren't sure who they were going to get. Elkhorn South ends up winning on the other side of the bracket, and we look at it, and it's like, whoa, Westside's kind of a runaway train here. They have 7 shutouts this year. How does Elkhorn South do it if they're going to do it?
Well, Westside, speaking of defense, they've given up 6 points in the playoffs, and they've given up 42, 46, whatever the number is, the whole season. So that's what, 12 games?
12.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. So if Elkhorn South can, in order for them to win, one, they have to hope it is pretty low scoring, like 17-13, something like that, right? Like under 21-17, maybe 21. I just don't know if they can get 3 touchdowns unless it's a mistake, on their own, right? Unless it's a mistake from Westside or something, and they haven't made mistakes all year. So I don't know. It's very much so an uphill battle, or they just remain patient with just 3 yards at a time, like 3.5 yards of play. We'll just be comfortable with 3.5 yards of play and then pick a shot, right, to take kind of similar to what they did against Miller South in the semis. I mean, it was 13-3, but it felt like it was 28-3. And then bang, they hit a shot play, seam route. Madden Riggs hits Brady Bosquet for a 60-yard touchdown. So that's that's probably the same recipe to win tonight, but I just don't know. The weather's going to maybe be a little bit of a factor, right?
Yeah, if there's wind, that helps out Elkhorn South probably.
Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, Anthony Rizak can use his legs to run. John Mazarus has been pretty phenomenal. I will say, Omaha West Side all year, their line has been kind of poo-pooed or like not talked about very enough from people like me. And frankly, tonight they're a little overmatched as far as size is concerned. So on both sides, I would say. So, but we'll see. I mean, I do think their defense, Westside's defense, is pretty awesome, and their front seven is pretty awesome. And there's guys like RJ. It's not Ryan, by the way. It's not Ryan Eckhart. It's RJ Eckhart.
RJ.
So, it's just so.
Thank you. We'll get that right on the broadcast tonight.
Yeah. His government name is Ryan, and if you just look at the program, or you never spoken to him, or just pop in every now and again, like most people do, then it's Ryan, but it's actually RJ. So him and JQ, Jonquil Osler, have been great up front. Cam Bell is virtually impossible to move at their nose, and then a guy like Bo Ryan. Bo Ryan has had a pretty good year, middle linebacker for him, and guys like Trevor Spady, and they have a ton of athletes that are really good that aren't the Caleb Bennings and Rizaks and Christian Joneses of the world. Guys that are pretty good. Preston Okafor, guys, you just go down the list. Their defense is star-studded, and it might be a little bit of a long night for Elkhorn South.
For sure. But Elkhorn South, though, I mean, I just think it makes a lot of kind of like poetic sense that they're in this game. They have now, coming up from Class B a few years ago and establishing themselves there, and what's the transition going to be like? And now it's every year you could expect them to be in a position where they're probably playing for a state championship every year. Like it's no mistake they're in this game.
Yeah, no. They're in the conversation every single year.
Yep.
They even 2020 COVID year, I guess, where the game was at Westside. That was Cole Payton's year that Westside won it, and Coach Flint. So they were in it then with Teddy Prohaska and those guys. So they're always in the conversation. They built Coach Rosenberg, obviously, built a pretty good program. I mean, he's been basically the only coach they've ever had there. They win. I don't know. They seem to always at least be in the semifinals. So it's pretty good track record of success. A guy like Ashton Murphy tonight is going to have a big night for them.
Yeah,
on both sides. Like
need your stars to be stars for sure.
Yeah, for sure. There's other, Dylan Kingston, number 80. He had the pick six against Millard South, and he's a long, tall corner defensive back. They got guys like that, outside linebacker, that are long and can run. So the matchup maybe is actually a little better than I think people are giving credit for. It just feels like Westside is very, very, very much so on a mission here.
Are you ready? So you mentioned the people who kind of poke their heads in and then watch it. There's going to be a lot of people who watch on TV tonight who don't usually care or think about high school football, and they're going to say, awesome. Who's the quarterback for Westside and why is he so good?
Oh, that would be Anthony Rizak. He's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Are you? I'm just saying. Are you ready for that when it starts? Yeah. It starts happening on Twitter tonight, and Husker fans are going to be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa,
why isn't blah 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 blah?" Yeah. Tagging Coach Rule and all these people. Why isn't this guy? We need this guy and this guy. Well, I don't know. They have a scholarship quarterback that they like, and they have a walk-on quarterback that they clearly like. So I don't know. Can you take another walk-on and another? It just the numbers probably or something, or I don't know. Maybe it's, for me, I don't see a way how he's not on. I think it's a travesty. This is my personal opinion. That it's just a like, nope, no, we don't want you. We don't have room. We're not interested either way. Blah blah blah. Like, whatever went down with that. I think it's travesty. I think a kid like that has won as much as he's won as a starting quarterback, and oh, by the way, he has a school record for passing touchdowns and yards and everything. How is that? Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not saying he would be like lead Nebraska to a national championship or anything, but what I am saying is the kid wins and you just find a way to get him on your team.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how many guys, I've said that with coming out of high school. I'm like, yeah, I don't really care where you put him, but I want him to be on the team.
Right. Like I think he does just want to play quarterback, right? So
right. So that's the rub probably, right? Like, you know what? It doesn't have to be, but like I've always said it with like defensive guys. They come as like, he might be a little small. I don't know where you put him. And you could put him somewhere else. With a quarterback, you got one spot.
Yeah, I get that. But hey, let him come give it a shot. Then. Yeah. Guess what? Like, let him move on, and like if it doesn't work out, then I can almost guarantee you, because I've known Anthony Rizak and Teddy and those guys for a long time. I can almost guarantee you, all the kid wants is a shot, and it's not there. So yeah. It is what it is. Now I'm stumping for Anthony Rizak.
Well, just get ready. Yeah. I mean, just 10 o'clock tonight, you're going to have a lot of friends.
Yeah, still pretty good. He's going to probably have a pretty big game.
All right, Sautter. I'll see you in a little while. Thanks for coming on for a few minutes. It was good to talk to you.
Yeah, I just did a interview with a coach in front of a semi and honked the semi horn.
You honked it?
So, oh yeah, that's out there.
Okay, the video's out.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Go-kart.
find that. Right.
Yeah.
Talk to you in a little while.
Goodbye.
Mike Sautter, Hurrdat Sports.
Can I get a quick question?
Go find the video of him honking a truck.
He is. He's right in front of that truck.
I haven't seen it yet.
He posted it as we
good
came onto the air here.
Good.
I'm going to ask a question, and please no one take offense to this.
Yep.
Is Anthony Rizak too smart to play for Nebraska?
Keep going.
I'm looking at his 24/7 sports page. Offers from Dartmouth, Harvard, Yale.
Smart kid.
He's a smarty pants.
He's a smarty pants. Well,
Army, Navy, Air Force.
Well, I mean,
who is this kid?
Somebody would. People are going to watch him on TV tonight.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to say,
"Oh yeah,
is Nebraska too dumb for him?" Right? Yeah, like Sautter said, he's gonna have a big game tonight. Enough people have stumped for him, so I don't feel like I need to do the thing. And frankly, I haven't seen him as much as the other people have, but I know he's a good player and he's a great kid. So,
the W in West Side stands for wagon.
That'll be out there tonight. That's for sure. Looking forward to bringing you the Class A state championship game right here on 1620 The Zone tonight. Brought to you by Great Plains Home Exteriors. Myself, Gary, and Jimmy. We'll be down in the field getting all the. Last night he was basically meteorologist for us, which was awesome.
Fun.
Yeah, it's raining, guys. And I'm like, thank you. But seriously, that was good because when you're up so high at Memorial Stadium in the press box level, and the wind is different up there than it is down there. So that was very useful actually last night. I imagine it'll be a lot of the same tonight. Back poll questions. Tell you what to watch on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Put your coffee department in good hands with Host Coffee Service, providing direct delivery and loaned coffee equipment with service programs. If you're ready to change to a better coffee provider, it's time for Host Coffee.
Omaha's best coffee since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
If you drive through your neighborhood and think, pretty house, ew, my house. Time to call Great Plains Home Exteriors. They transform homes like yours all over Nebraska. Great Plains Home Exteriors offers so many different window brands and styles to fit every home and budget. They also install gutters and gutter guards so you never have to clean your gutters again. Great Plains Home Exteriors will make your home feel like a part of the neighborhood. Free estimate at gphomeomaha.com.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
If you're looking for the hottest ticket in town, it's Blue Collar Boxing 2023, presented by Limitless Mail at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. On Wednesday, November 22nd, local union members will face off in the boxing ring for charity, with proceeds benefiting the Nebraska Center for Workforce Development and Education and United Way of the Midlands. The atmosphere will be electric, the energy will be high, and the arena will be rocking. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at bluecollarboxing.org or the Liberty First Credit Union Arena box office.
Poll questions at Happer Show on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. We had a few of them today. That's good. We're getting back.
Yeah.
Been a little light during football season, but that's all right.
Sad.
Don't worry. We'll hit our stride back again. And really, I mean, it starts next week.
Yeah.
Our season begins again next week.
Because also, like, you know, there's not going to be any Nebraska football, you know, maybe some bowl practices, hopefully, God willing. But also, it's going to be that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas where nobody's doing any work anywhere.
That's correct, including here.
Yes.
Does every suburban house have a Theragun?
I think yes.
Yeah, yes.
Certainly a lot more than like 3 years ago.
56% say no, not everyone. Maybe if you would have taken that down to like 90%, would have got more votes. Is it too late for Connor Happer to get a massage?
No.
Yes, I think it's too late for me.
Now you might have to get like...
You're not working out these kinks.
You might have to get a short one and then a really long one just to work it all out. I think you can.
63% say no, it's not too late. Roast me, Michael Jordan? Question mark. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Forgot about that one. Yes.
I'd pay money for that, actually. 52% say yes.
If you like nonsense, then this morning's crossover is really for you.
Yeah, we went in a lot of different places there. This is, I think, my favorite one of the day. Would you watch the match if it was Donald Trump versus Kim Jong-un? I don't know how you could possibly say no.
Even for like, oh, I gotta hate watch this for 30 seconds.
It would be the most watched television program in the history of time.
Especially with Charles Barkley doing the commentary because he said he would take money from the Saudis. I assume the Saudis are putting this on.
79% only say yes.
Oh.
And I think that's a load of BS.
Liars.
What's the weirdest part of that story? 3.5 pounds of potato salad, the rain, the cemetery, the spectators. Really needed to listen to the odd news to get that one. I say the cemetery. That part still never made sense to me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you thinking about it logically.
Okay. 64% said 3.5 pounds of potato salad.
Sure.
The cemetery came in second with 18%.
That's good.
Then the spectators, then the rain. The rain is a funny part of it. It adds to the ambiance. And finally, this one just went up, so very early results. Is he a smarty pants? He being Anthony Rizak, but you guys don't know that if you're just following along on Twitter. Yeah, smarty pants. Currently pulling at 75%. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wow.
Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We got some college football tonight. It is our last day of consecutive football games. Like it was like 45 days in a row with a football game. Today's the last day. Bowling Green against Western Michigan. 6 o'clock on ESPNU. ESPN2 at 6:30. Eastern Michigan at Buffalo. Matt Schick on the call, from what I hear.
Yes, that's right. On the football game.
Yes. High school football tonight, Elkhorn South versus Westside Class A Championship, 7 o'clock start on 1620 The Zone. Connor, have a great call, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I like when people tell me have a great call.
Yeah.
I like telling people have a great call. It makes me feel like I'm a part of something.
You can watch it on Nebraska Public Media, but you shouldn't because our broadcast is better.
Yeah. Or sync up the video and that'll be fun.
That's what you do.
You could see what we messed up.
NBA, it is an in-season tournament day, Connor.
Oh, good.
The 1-1 Cavs take on the 2-1 76ers at 6:30 on TNT. That's in East A. I know you know this, but the audience doesn't. The Utah Jazz are 2-1. They take on the 3-0 LA Lakers, 9 o'clock on TNT. That's a West A pool game. The Lakers can clinch the West A group and home court for the quarterfinals, which I'm told is a thing, with a win. Utah can clinch the West Group A with a win and a Phoenix loss tonight.
So, huge stakes.
Yeah, big stakes tonight in the association. College basketball, the Maui Gym Maui is going on today.
It's not Maui Gym anymore, by the way.
It's Honolulu Gym this year.
No, but no. Like Maui Gym used to be the sponsor.
Uh-huh.
I don't think Maui Gym is sponsoring this anymore.
Oh, wow.
From what I saw.
Sad. Well, number 11, Gonzaga and Syracuse are playing basketball right now on ESPN2.
It's the All-State Maui Invitational, which is complete garbage.
I can get All-State anywhere.
All-State's fine. I'm fine with All-State, but this needs to be the Maui Gym Maui Invitational.
Wow, sad news. I did not know that. UCLA and Chaminade at 4 o'clock on ESPN2. And then real powers playing tonight, 7 o'clock ESPN. Number 7, Tennessee against number 2, Purdue. And then at 9:30 on ESPN, number 1, Kansas, and number 4, Marquette.
Hello.
So, yeah, it's got some real deal basketball tonight.
Did you see Oso Ighodaro just slam a jamming on everybody last night?
I did not, but that sounds like something I would like to watch. 8 o'clock on HBO, Hard Knocks in season with the Miami Dolphins premieres. So we get to find out how weird a team that is.
Oh, good. That would be some really nice Mike McDaniel bites.
Yeah. 7 o'clock on ABC, it's Taylor Swift night on Dancing with the Stars. And on Netflix, you get the animated movie Leo. Adam Sandler voices a talking lizard in this coming-of-age musical comedy about the last year of elementary school as seen through the eyes of a class pet.
Sandler was due for some more money.
For one of these, yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, you can find it all one convenient place, 1620thezone.com. Crossovers next.
Live